Good evening and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us on Wednesday night, which means you've tuned in for the TCR Challenge. Tonight we are at Sebring for rounds 11 and 12 in this hotly contested series. I'm Peter Bingham and Sir Alan Toon is in the booth with me this evening. Good evening, Alan.
Oh, good evening, Peter. Good evening, everybody.
And as ever, on our cameras and making us look as professional as he does, Sam Boozen, good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
So we've got a 33-degree track temperature here. Obviously, Sebring, a universally loved track. I don't know anybody that dislikes it. There's a few people that don't like Sunset Turn. But they'll come to terms with that. We've got curb cam on the go here as well. Where's your SB logo for the curb cam, or is that on a different screen? I have no idea. Alan, Sebring, TCRs, it's a good combination, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic combination, Pete. This car goes well around this track. It likes the track likes the car. The bends are ideal. There's some great corners, some great straight bits, loads of overtaking opportunities and loads of tow as well. So really a racer's course, and I'm looking forward to this a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting race because, like you say, there's not too many places to get away. It is far more technical than you would imagine. We will jump on board with somebody at some point. They are in the middle of qualifying and approaching towards the end of qualifying. Let's see if we can jump on board with. Let's see, Matt Elmore might go again, or Cal Hardy. He's been doing extremely well. We'll get round to the league in a minute. So round Sunset we go, and on to the start-finish straight under the Yokohama Bridge. Flat out through here, lots of tow for the cars behind. Under the Chevrolet Bridge, and there's a little kink in the wall just there, and you start your turn in. You stay in fourth gear generally. Can't see what car's in at the moment. And then for turn 2, which is this tiny little kink, you want to take a bit of the off track there. It's not an actual off track, and then into this little section of turns, which doesn't actually get a nomination in terms of a name. And then you're in Gurney Bend, which is this one. I like this bend. It's very challenging getting onto there with the right speed and traction. You'll see a lot of people off to the left because for some reason cars spear off that way. And then we head towards the hairpin. Massive overtaking opportunity, especially in a TCR front-wheel drive car, as you haul yourself out of hairpin turn and go down Fangio chicane, which is the next little section. And then we're heading into Cunningham, which is this right-hander. Again, another potential dive bomb situation in a TCR. And when we had the GT4s, definitely. We make our way through Collier here, which is this one. And you're staying in, you're just gaining gears at the moment. And then off the gas into Tower. This is a really technical turn. If you lose it there, you lose it for a week because you'll disappear off into the scenery. And then we hammer it down Flying Fortress straight into Bishop, which is this turn here, and then through this section of left-handers and into an S's section, which I know has a name, but I don't know what it is. Excuse me, before you get into this turn, which is Le Mans. Usually a third gear, it is still a third gear, even in Carl's car. He didn't go too wide there, and onto Ullman Straight, which is the alternative pit road that they don't use in iRacing, but they do in real life. And then you're powering your way to Sunset Bend. And then this gets a bit bumpy through here. So you take a shallow line in most cars, to be honest, but more so in the TCR. You want to stay hugging the inside. You can see how bumpy it is through there before you get onto the gas, hopefully without the back end kicking out in a rear-wheel drive car and the front end washing out in a front-wheel drive car and over the line. So, Alan, you must have done hundreds of laps around here. Your thoughts on Sebring?
Oh, well, I love it. There's plenty of room for me to escape off the track and not hit something hard.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, the scenery and the furniture are quite a way off the track, so it's forgiving in that respect, isn't it?
Yes, there's a bit of breathing room, but also, it's a challenge. It's a track you come back to time and time again, and you always want to try and beat your best time from previously. You don't forget this place. It's one that hangs around in your memory, and you want to come back and always try and improve your time. It's just, it's such an iconic place. We've raced here in 12-hour events and all kinds of, every kind of car imaginable. It always turns up trumps. It's a great racing circuit, and it delivers no matter what.
It does. So, in the dying embers of what we've got here in the qualifying session, or actually it's already gone, so I'm going to talk about where the standings are after we've done our sighting lap, or as we go round, actually. But I'll talk us through our starting grid for this round 11 sprint race. The next race will be a feature race, or an hour's race after this one. This will be half an hour. So Sam Blease will lead the field away tonight for Geodesic Racing. Carl Hardy will go off second for Safeguard by result. Matt Elmore will go off third for Spectre 6 Silver, with Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing White going off in fourth. Fifth will be Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports, with Stephen Walker off sixth for Spectre 6 Purple. Seventh will be Jason Morris for iRace Esports. Jamie Wilson will go off eighth for Team Chimera, with Jason Hannington off ninth for RWC Racing Blue. Chris Needham will go off 10th for RWC Racing Red. And JB Dejoux will go off 11th for BSTV Esports Blue. Tony Walker, 12th for Spectre 6 Purple. Roger Morton will go off 13th once the screen moves for Safeguard by result. And Andrew Littler will bring up the rear of the field for Spiro by result. So, now we've got that out of the way. We're doing a full lap here at Sebring. It's not one of the updated tracks where you get a shorter run. So let's talk about the TCR standings for a moment. So this is the main league. We are now in, we should be in drop score series, I think, but total points we'll talk about. Sam Blease is your championship leader at the moment, as the cars will start to pull away shortly. Stephen Walker is second. He is 50 points behind. With the drop score, he's 40 points behind. So still well within reach as the safety car pulls away. Jamie Wilson is in third on 542 points, exactly 50 points behind Stephen Walker, and 90 points behind Sam Blease. So within reach still. All Sam Blease needs is a couple of bad races. Fourth in the championship is Spencer McCarthy. That's Sam Blease's partner in crime. He's on 517, and I think he's missed a couple of races due to real life. How dare that get in the way? And then fifth is Stefan Goebel on 460 points. So he's got a massive challenge. Stefan is here, and he's in fifth. He's had some decent results so far. He's had some crashes as well, mind. It's not been an incident-free time of it for Stefan. And then in the teams, Geodesic Racing lead by 300 points over Spectre 6 Purple. So that is that's domination, isn't it? Alan?
It is, and
it's massive.
It surprised me, really.
I didn't think they'd been so successful that they pulled out 300 points.
But then, look at second and third. That surprised me. Spectre are cleaning up in second and third.
Yeah.
It's that doesn't surprise me so much because they're busy. But they're out by Geodesic. It's interesting as well because if you look at the points, Spencer keeps winning. Every time he comes, he wins.
Yeah,
and he's got the most wins. And Sam's only got 2, but Sam's all over the championship.
Yeah, he's finished well though, hasn't he? Consistently,
really
I mean.
Yeah, because the next column down gives you that, doesn't it? He's had so many podiums, 9 podiums.
Yeah, and Carl Hardy must be getting a nosebleed. He's that far forward today. He's that far high up in the starting order. And then fourth is Team Chimera. They've got a big challenge on now. And Safeguard by result are fifth. So that's Carl Hardy's crew. Okay.
Getting good points just recently, hasn't he? Crikey.
He has. He's doing very well, to be fair. So as they go down through Flying Fortress, we'll talk about the driver of the evening, or driver of the meeting, crown. So Jamie Wilson heads it up at the moment with 5 points. He got 3 last time out. One from everybody because his race was just so good. Sam Blees is in second on 2, and Stephen Walker is also on 2 points. Then we've got 5 drivers all fighting it out for third place, which is Shane Powell, Roger Morton, Jason Morris, Spencer McCarthy, and Stefan. They are on Ullman Straight. They have not let the pace car go, safety car rather, go very far at all, Alan. So this is a new tactic. We usually see safety car naff off into the distance, and then somebody guns it, but not tonight.
Well, it's waiting for it to nap off.
Yeah. I don't know who that was so far out to the side. It might have been Stephen Walker, I guess, looking for a bit of room there. I'm not sure. Still quite close to this safety car.
Yeah,
they should.
They're right on it. Well, perhaps this is the new tactic because if you remember, they were backing them up, weren't they?
Yeah, but if they go too soon, they are green flag now. So
there we go.
They're away.
Straight
and
away.
They are fanned right out. Look at that.
Oh, here we go. T1.
Five wide. Oh my God, this is going to be carnage.
Crikey. Wow, look at that.
Wow. That's probably one of the most exciting turn ones at Sebring I've ever seen. That was awesome.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Please
turn
don't blow
two
to
might
turn
be a bit
2.
Yeah. Oh, no. There we go. Right, we've had I think that was Stephen Walker. And Matt Flannery, that was.
Oh, that's
no
not
Spencer
what
McCarthy
they would have
here.
wanted. And
No.
you really don't want to get dropped off from this lot.
And Stephen Walker, of course, that's a championship affecting incident, that. He was, what is he? Is he second or third? I can't remember what I said now. I'm going to go and find out.
So it's his bit of tape paper.
Yeah, he's second. So that's a massive impact.
Well, you know what? It's only 30-minute race, so he's going to have his work cut out to get all the way back because
he's way back.
Get off the back here, it's trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean these guys need binoculars just to see him. He's that far back now. As Jamie Wilson is taking his 5th position of the race so far here.
Wow.
No, he's not. So he's only taken 4. 2 of them gifted, of course.
Still on lap 1. It's all happened.
Yeah, right. Stop the race. That's all the action we can take.
These guys, honestly.
My blood pressure pills are already at maximum. So Jamie could do well here. Oh, he's slotted in. I thought he was going to stay to the right. He's going to cut back here onto Ullman Straight. Should get a really good slingshot and a lot of momentum and tow. But we are 6 cars for third place, Alan.
Well, I don't think there's a lot in any of it at the moment, is there? Goodness. Well, was that lap 1? I don't think I'm going to recover.
I know. I can't do another 10
Oh,
of
look at the ground going through sunset. Goodness me, that can
so
rattle
bumpy.
you.
Yeah.
My God, it rattled you.
My fillings would be all over the footwell of my car.
Especially in these cars, with the front wheel drive and all that loading on the front suspension, they get a right pummeling going through there.
They do. Jamie Wilson is not letting this go. He's pressing this issue, Alan.
Well, he's full of confidence, and why wouldn't he be after his the last couple of weeks? He's been driving out of his skin and turning in incredible performances. It's the best performance he's had, I believe. So,
2 by 2.
Good on him.
Yeah, Tony
Look at
Walker.
this.
Yeah, Tony Walker and Jason Morris going at it now.
Well, neither of them are both fearless fighters. They both go for it. Nice to see Jason. Look at him where he is as well. And Tony, great. Isn't it great to see them right up there and battling hard?
And something I've not seen, and I don't know why I haven't seen it, is Carl Hardy overtaking for the lead. Carl Hardy is your race leader.
He's taken over from Sam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here we go. And it was in the toe. Look at this. So, does Sam get a bit of a bounce? He does.
Yeah.
He gets a bit of a bounce.
Oh, he got the bounce.
And loses his brake point as a result. He did. He didn't just have to lift. He had to get back on the brake. Yeah, and that's time. That's a lot of time to lose. Look at this. This was the start. This was the incident, Alan. So what happened exactly? So it's difficult to apportion blame to that because that's just racing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that was so quick. There's nothing. I don't think there's nothing there, is there? You can say about that. It's just
really two
just
cars turning in. There was plenty of room for both. They just got together.
Yeah, I think the one on the inside just went slightly, just you know, when you in close quarters like that, that was like misjudging it by an inch, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's fine margins though, isn't it? It really is.
About, you know, it's just the slightest nudge, and it doesn't take much.
I'm wondering whether that Audi struggles on those bumps because the Audis are moving backwards if you look at the overall standings. So Sam Blease is now in second, lost a position. Matt Elmore is now in fourth, lost a position. Stefan Goebel is now in seventh, lost 2 positions. I think the Audi is struggling through Sunset in particular.
Aye, but it's just on the fastest lap.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'll shut up, yeah?
Well, but you're right, you know, and I was going to say, we've had some tracks where there's been car advantage to one make or another for various reasons, and I was wondering if this wouldn't be a track where maybe there's a bit of an advantage in play. Maybe I thought maybe the Audis would go great this week or something, or you know, maybe the Civics would shine or something.
I was thinking the Audis would be okay here because of, you know, the speed advantage that it does have. Or was it that one that was topping out when we were at it was the Audi that was topping out, wasn't it?
Yes.
So maybe they'll struggle here then. Yeah.
Yes. But now Carl said he didn't reckon his pace this week, and that Matt was doing really well.
Sandbagging. Look at where he is. He's got nearly half a second lead.
But then he pops up and he's in second on the.
I'm sure he can throw that away. Don't forget, if you're watching, give us a like. We appreciate them. We've got David Ayres on the chat, who is just
David will be
consuming food. He's more concerned with food than he is with racing. Anthony Jacobson is in the chat as well.
Both of them will be delighted for Carl.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
No, won't be delighted for long because Sam has got a really good run here.
Yeah.
Carl's going to let him go because the cutback is as valuable as the overtake here. This is getting a bit tasty back here as well. This is
always
Kylie.
Around there, you know. This is an overtaking spot.
Who's that? Who's that that's gone?
That's Roger, is it? Is it Roger?
I think it is, yes. You're right. It's Roger that went into another postcode and nearly had to pay for admission to get back in again.
But he got it under control, and it's a right old tricky place, that is.
I've just seen Jamie under mega pressure from Matt Elmore at turn 1, and just behind Kylie here, Roger's going to lose another position. But he is up 3 from the start, so I shouldn't be too dismissive of that. He's holding his own here as well.
Yeah, and he wants to race. And he had a great race with JB last week, didn't he?
There was
racing last week.
Look at him, they're stacking up the cars behind. That's Chris Needham, previous champion of GT4.
Chris, we know past Chris's, so
he's back right out.
Chickened out of that. He
has chickened out.
Yeah, he wants to know nothing about that, does he?
No.
Smart cookie, probably. You don't want to be in that if somebody loses the wheel onto the grass. You don't want to be in the middle of that, do you?
No way. And look how racy JB is.
Yeah, isn't it great? He has been these last couple of weeks, though. Him and Roger were having a real Titanic struggle last week.
And they're back on it this week.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good racing from these two. JB runs him right to the edge there.
Rogers knows this track like the back of his hand. We've spent hundreds of hours racing around it. One way or another. Yeah,
JB is looking for every opportunity. And look behind them. Stephen Walker is now with the fleet, as it were. Goodness. He's overtaken Matt Flannery like he wasn't
they won't
there.
be able to hold Stephen. You know, he will come through. It's just there's no way you can defend against somebody as fast as Stephen around here.
He is epic.
Places.
Look at the lines he takes. Big,
Yeah.
sweeping lines through corners. Gives him huge advantage. And already popping out on JB there. He's just going to do this under braking because he's not in the tow. So it's a flat-out drag race.
He's
Further forward. Look at Kylie go.
Oh, this is
Whoa,
exciting
Matt
stuff.
Flannery, what are you doing?
Goodness. Well, we know how here it is going through there. You can, it's so easy to lose it. Oh, hello. Who's blinked?
That was Jason Morris that was
Jason.
strobing. Yeah.
Oh,
This is this may well be the back of the field, Alan, but it's the most exciting bit of the race. Ah! God, look, there's a crash. That is a crash. That's a backwards Chris Needham.
Oh, Chris.
Keep your foot on the brakes, son. There we go. And he's off again. So I don't know whether there was contact. I think that was brake bias because here he goes. He dives into the corner. Oh, he does a bit of an avoidance on. Oh, he does actually tap JB.
Yeah, but I don't think he had anything much to say about it.
No. I mean, he was very hot into the corner, wasn't he? So
I think there was an awful lot of inertia going off here at that moment.
JB pinched him.
He came round, pinched him.
He did. He pinched him. Yeah, it didn't look like that on the other camera angle. Apologies to Chris. Oh, here we go. So this is Matt Elmore on Jamie. And Jason sniffing around, look.
Yeah, well, Jason's doing ever so well, isn't he? He's up there
He's just doing fantastic, yeah. He's in 5th place. The top two have absolutely naffed off down the road. They are 8 seconds ahead of these three. We would show that. However, there is so much racing going on. Steve Walker's just passed Roger Morton off screen. Oh, no, he hasn't. Yes, he has.
Yeah,
Sorry, yes, he has. Yeah. Round the outside goes Stephen Walker.
Hard racer, Roger, but very fair. Oh, that JB.
It is JB. Why is he so far back? Why is he disappearing off at random angles?
Oh,
that looks like a technical issue.
He's trying to go back to his pits, isn't he?
I don't know. That's really a weird behaviour. It was like he didn't see the turn at all. Cal Hardy now in 2nd place again. I don't think we saw the overtake for the lead again.
Well, Sam, incredibly quick, but...
oh, no, Jamie, catch it.
It'll be all right.
Oh, my God. You're not in Tokyo, son. Come on, let's go. He's going to get swamped now, though.
Yes, that's not going to help him.
That's a bit of love tapping.
Yeah, inevitable, I think.
Rubbins Racing. I don't know what that was, though. That was very hot and opportunistic into the corner from Tony Walker. I think
Tony's a racer,
Yeah. Yeah.
He won't hang around.
I don't think he's made a friend there. I don't think that Jamie Wilson's going to be sending any Christmas cards to the Tony Walker household this Christmas.
Well, they're both still running.
They are. However, this was very forceful. This was from 6 years back.
Yeah, it was.
Or was it? I don't know. He couldn't turn it, though. He couldn't turn it.
No.
It's a little bit naughty, that, for me.
I don't think he was making that, was he?
I don't think so. I think he used another car to get round the corner.
The old bounce.
Yeah.
But he did save it on the recuperation.
He did.
And, look, well, I hope Jamie hasn't got any damage.
It was wheel to wheel, so it's unlikely. However, I think the red curtain might be descending in front of Jamie's eyes.
Yes.
Because he's now under pressure from Stefan as well.
Well, in fairness to Tony, he's probably right on the edge of his ability at the moment where he's driving in the field. He's just driving out of his skin trying to hold this position, these guys.
Yes, I'd agree with that. Jamie pops out of the tow. I don't know whether he's going to get... Oh, he is going to get alongside. He's going to get very alongside.
Oh.
And
pass him. He's trying. It's just overdriving slightly, really.
Yeah, and then Stefan's underneath Tony now as well. So, where are we? Sam Blease has started to gap Mr. Hardy.
Yeah, so he started doing that very quickly. So Carl will be hanging on for it, because the longer he can hold on, the better.
Yeah, and on the chat, David Ayre says that Scary Mary's going to end up with a disciplinary at this rate because he's still not received his food.
What? Outrageous.
Isn't it?
I don't know.
So
Poor
Jamie
David,
Wilson...
He'll be fainting with hunger. His blood sugar will be down.
I know.
Mary, what's happening, Gal?
He'll be feeling faint shortly. Oh, that's a really good move underneath Kylie there from Stephen Walker. And likewise, a bit further back for Roger Morton on Matt Flannery. Or was that a defend? I think that might have been a defend from Roger Morton. And it was a good one.
He's excellent at that. It's fair, but, he makes you work for it.
Yeah, and he's defending well here. He's dominated the centre of the track there to prevent Matt Flannery getting an advantage. He'll probably do the same in the tower. He is doing the same into tower. So he's holding that centre line and putting off Matt Flannery. Very, very clever driving.
Yes.
May not be the fastest in the world, but he's certainly technically good. And then Stephen Walker inside Stefan. That's a lovely move. Lovely block off as well afterwards. As he sets off after his teammate. And his brother, actually, Tony Walker, straight ahead of him.
Roger is his pace is he's been driving grass tracking for a long time, so he's got a lot of racing experience, actual track savvy. And his paces are improving all the time.
Yeah,
it is.
Matt Flannery
trying to work on, and he's motivated.
Yeah, Matt Flannery trying to do the cutback on him here, and this will work, but not in the way that he wants it to, because...
Well, he's going to be on the inside coming into T1, isn't he?
Yeah, Roger is, yeah.
Roger is.
So he'll be able to easily defend the position, although the car behaviour there was quite erratic.
Well, it can be, isn't it? And it's a vital. Do you know where the cone is on the fence there? It's
that's your turning. That's your apex, isn't it?
So important to get it right.
Gary Craig told me all about that. I hadn't even noticed it in the years and years that I've been driving this track. And he was like, apex, the cone that's in the air. And I was like, you what? He said there's a cone in the air on the fence. I was like, no, there's not. And when I went round again, I was like, no way. Never seen that before. Right, so... Stephen Walker underneath Stefan, he's now defending from Stefan, isn't he? Because he made the move before. Stefan putting him under a lot of pressure, and Kylie sniffing around in the background, ready to take any scraps that fall off that table.
Oh, the Walker brothers together here.
I know, that's going to be a difficult conversation, isn't it, if they take each other out?
But Stefan will be thinking that he's going to get Tony, won't he? So...
He'll be using Stephen Walker, if he's clever, as a toe to pull himself forward. Stephen Walker deep into tower. That is not the line. Oh, what? Oh, sorry, I've got that all wrong. That's Tony. Yes, thank you, race director, for getting us back to professional once again. So that's Tony in the yellow car, just ahead of Stefan. I wondered why he was under pressure. Stephen Walker has already done his brother, and he's off down the road. Look.
Yeah, so Stefan's desperately trying to get past Tony, because he's trying to get, like as you said, he's trying to get his brother. Oh.
It was only me that thought it was Stephen, because you already knew it was Tony. I get it now, Alan. I get it now. Oh, behind, there is no overtake.
Yes, well, Stefan.
Roger and Matt Flannery.
Under the bridge, they didn't look at that under the bridge. Yeah.
Cameraman's nightmare. They're all doing it at the same time. This is what happened to me in the V8s on Saturday. I didn't know where to point the camera next.
Well, Sam did a pretty good job, and so do you.
Sam does a good job. So, round the outside, Stefan tried it. He's not managed it yet. And Tony, this is the corner where he came off the Wilson Christmas card list.
What a track this is! It
It's
just
wonderful for
gives you
action,
this
isn't it?
kind of stuff all the
Oh, it's
time.
good.
You know,
And for a track with no undulation at all, it's got no topography, as in it's flat as a pancake. It brings some brilliant racing.
yes, yeah. I love these corners. They're just long enough straights to get plenty of pace. You've got to be on the brakes, and it just makes for really satisfying laps. But it does make you overdrive. It's just one of those circuits that sucks you into just overdriving, just giving it that little extra. You know, I'm sure I can leave it just a second longer on the brakes, just a fraction.
And then it punishes you.
And then, of course, you get it completely wrong.
Oh! Yeah, so Stefan was determined to take the inside line into Cunningham, and now he's paying for it. So sometimes... Oh, no! He's really paying for it. He came across the front of Matt Flannery, I think.
That's not good. That was a hard hit.
It really was a hard hit. We're going to have to see that again, possibly from overhead. But it did look like Stefan came across the front of Matt Flannery. So Stefan's already lost track position. There wasn't contact. Yeah, he's just come across. He's not even acknowledged the fact that Matt Flannery's car was inside him.
I don't think he saw him.
Well, you would have a spotter screaming in your ear, surely.
Yeah, well, you would think.
So this is Stephen Walker now taking a position away from Jamie Wilson. Stephen Walker is absolutely mullering everybody at the minute. I think it would have been a race to the end with Carl Hardy and Sam Blease if he hadn't had that incident early on.
Well, Carl's doing a really good job. Sam's only taking a second and a half.
I know, over the course of the race, that's admirable, isn't it? We know what Sam Blease can do.
Yeah. So he's hanging on, and they gapped 11 seconds on Matt, so that just shows you how fast they're going.
Well, there was a lot of squabbling around Matt Elmore at the beginning, so I think he's been forced backwards more than they've pulled away, if that makes sense.
Right, yes, that does make sense, because Jason's there and pressing hard as well.
He is.
Stephen's on a mission, of course. He will be, because he was put at the back, unfortunately, and so no surprise to me to see him actually zoom into the front, because he does this thing on a regular basis of
he does,
the whole field. He's a fantastic driver in this car as well.
Yeah,
but he's twice champion, I think. He
is, yeah. And Kyle is closing in here on Tony Walker. He's trying to do it under braking. He's not. Oh, he might manage that, but he's on the wrong side anyway, and he's backed out. David Ayres on the chat says, "Isn't this Bill's local track?" It is. Have we heard from him? And how is he? He's doing all right. He's got some health concerns which he's managing at the moment, and I hope that he will join us in the not too distant future for some broadcasts. It'd be great to have him back. I know he watches some of these, if not all of them. So we very much hope he's going to recover enough to get back in the booth.
Very much missed.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I like his honest feedback on what he sees. I try and give honest feedback as well, but he has a very particular way of delivering it, which I find hilarious. In the distance there, you can see JB Desjeux has made his way back again, 10th place at the. Other people have gifted him that position. People are starting to slide out at sunset now. Alan, do you think anybody's going to make the wall there?
Your guess is as good as mine, Pete. But you can never say no.
You can never say no. And I think everybody has dipped a tyre off at that corner before and ended up in that wall.
I've looked at that wall from far too often. Do you know where you make that little row of lines and you put a strike through it?
Yeah.
I'm on the third one, I think. No line.
5-bar gate. So that was Stefan in the pits, his car protesting at the fact that he hit the wall face on. This is now a 3-car race, Alan, because Roger has caught these guys very quickly. Very quickly. We still have about 5 minutes of racing to go. Well, nearly 6, actually. So there's still plenty to fight for. A lap round here is 2:14. So we've got 2, maybe 3 laps. I can never work it out, so nobody have a go at me. Your fastest lap of the race so far is Sam Blees. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Stephen Walker. And by quite a margin. Yeah.
Wow.
2:13.9.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's proper quick, that is, Stephen. Goodness.
Yeah.
Me. But look at, I'm thinking of, look at Kylie doing really. You know, this is a great track, and it's just a great drive by Kylie.
It is. It's believe it or not, it's an even better drive by Tony Walker just in front of him. He's up 5 positions from his start position. We've seen some very robust driving from him, shall we say. But you don't get positions by being shy, do you, Alan?
No, and as long as he's driving within the rules and within good sportsmanship, then I think everybody's quite happy, really.
Yeah.
We do get a little bit of door rubbing. We don't get anything serious ever. And, you know, nearly everything I see comes out of, because it's just part of the experience of driving a very fast car, very fast speeds.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. This is for a non-shabby position. This is for 4th place. Stephen Walker, his damage limitation here is excellent, Alan.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised to see him coming through the field, but look at his lap times.
I know. He's just done the fastest lap on the last lap that he did. A 2:13.7. That's remarkable. I know he's got toe, etc., but he's also done an overtake in that time. This lap might be a bit slower because of the overtake, but...
And he's coming past people fighting tooth and nail to keep him behind them.
Yeah, I think the next move, if he gets onto the back of Matt Elmore, I don't think there'll be too much arguing. David Ayres says, Bill always, he remembers Bill always saying Evers instead of Ayres every time. For David's name, it was hilarious. He's done that with plenty of people, and it is a feature of BSTV. We annihilate people's names, and we're not sorry for it.
Look at these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right. You called it.
I did. And the points are too valuable for Stephen. He's absolutely got the bit between his teeth. And to be honest, unless something dramatic happens in the next race, that recovery drive there is worthy of driver of the meeting already. Because he's gone from last, stone motherless last, to 3rd place.
Yeah. And it was a big gap as well.
It was
just
massive.
It was gapped. Well,
I was saying that they needed binoculars from 3rd place to see him, and now he's in 3rd place. That's remarkable.
It is, because this is a notorious circuit for if you lose the toe and get off the back of a bunch, you can't get back. I would never be able to get back on the pack.
No way.
If I lose that off the back there, I would have never got back on. And that's the same for most people. So it just shows what kind of drive that is, to be honest.
Here's Matt Flannery underneath. Chris Needham just about. They couldn't have got closer without touching, Alan.
Well, we've seen plenty of touching in this race, haven't we?
We've seen lots of inappropriate affection, it has to be said.
These guys are getting plenty of racing done, and I bet they're loving it. Because, you know, it doesn't matter where you are in this field, there's somebody to race with. And not only that, they're good. So you get to race with somebody who's really good, or even better than you, which is ideal, of course, if you ever want to improve. There's plenty of opportunity to improve yourself as a driver around here, because there's...
What? Oh dear, there's a bit of arguing and squabbling. Look at Roger. Roger's saying thank you very much, boys. Do it again.
Roger, yeah, he won't be backward at coming forward for that. Thank you.
And he's done another one.
Oh my word!
Roger Morton.
Fantastic.
That's Tony
Where
Walker
did he
there.
get that from?
Well, he got it from
Tony must
those
have.
two
Tony must have been
squabbling.
slowed down as well. Tony must have had some kind of reaction to him and Kylie as well to have lost his pace.
Yeah, definitely. We must be on white flag now. I can only assume that Sam Blease is on white flag lap. Maybe Sam can tell us. Maybe we can see Barney. Is Barney waving his flag? Where is Barney?
Can't see him.
No, neither can I. We'll never know now. Oh, here we go. We'll see it this time, surely. Drivers must be able to see Barney. It should be on the left-hand side. Yeah, there we go. That's the flag. Oh, and slow-mo as well. Look at that. Camera man extraordinaire. Sam Boozan. I was looking at Sam's name at the top of the standings. That's why I got that one wrong. So, yeah, they are on last lap now. Matt Flannery again on Chris Needham, again at turn 1. Is he going to make this a safe pass? No, he's not yet. He's not yet. This isn't over. They're going to argue about this.
There's not room through here. Too wide, surely. Goodness.
Nope. And Matt Flannery's made that stick now. He's got the rest of the lap to survive it, though.
Well, that was fearsome driving, and he's made the overtake, and now all he's got to do now is hold on to it. Look at this.
Yeah, that's Sam Blease going super wide at Tower.
I think he's got plenty of time, hasn't he? Yeah,
he's got 4 seconds now, so Carl couldn't keep up with him in the end. I mean, it's not surprising. Sam's
he would have. Yeah, well, you know, he's got 10 seconds behind him, Carl, as he doesn't need to keep killing himself to try and keep up with Sam.
No, and consolidating that second place is going to do wonders for his championship.
Yeah, a brilliant result for him.
That'll bring him probably into 4th place. Probably into 4th place, that.
He's having a great season. This has got to be his best season.
Now, wow, it's so bouncy. Look at that.
Fantastic shot at that, though, wasn't it?
It really was brilliant.
If you've never been in a sim and driven around there, I tell you, that's exactly what it feels like when you're in the car.
Yeah. So all these guys are finishing the race now. So Sam Blease takes home the win. Carl Hardy in second. And unbelievably, given where he ended up, Stephen Walker got the bottom step of the podium. A fantastic podium. Yeah,
a brilliant drive by Stephen. And yeah, I've seen him do so many recovery drives in the last few weeks. It's just untrue.
It's just stunning.
Yeah.
And JB is going to hold on here for a 10th place finish.
And Jason came in 5th, which is remarkable.
That's great. That's great. Ahead of Jamie Wilson. Now, Jamie Wilson is usually up in the fighting 5, isn't he?
Well,
at least.
I would have. I would have said that I would have been Jamie's position. Really. Here comes Andy. Now 9-9. No. So yes, it surprises me to see. I wonder if Jamie had damage or something. What was the gap?
From Jamie to Jason.
Yeah, if Jamie and Jason are going to appear
14
together.
seconds, believe it or not. It's quite a margin.
Yeah, so there was that was history then. It wasn't.
It was, yeah. In fact, I think this is this the replay? This is the replay, actually. So there was nothing in it then. They were weaving all over the place with each other. Jamie slings it round the outside and round the front of Jason's car and then loses it through sunset.
Can't
hook it up. He didn't hook it up enough, though.
Well,
what a dramatic finish.
He did well to keep it out the wall.
He did. Well, you've got to give him points for effort. I mean,
yeah.
So it wasn't 14 seconds, it was the 0.2. I was reading the timing screen wrong.
Fantastic, fantastic save by him, but yeah, he lost the place.
I need a nap. Is that all right, Alan? I didn't know.
Of course it is, mate.
Okay. So your Heat 1 tonight. So round 11. Winner was Sam Blease for Geodesic Racing. He won by 3.7 seconds in the end. So kudos to Cal Hardy for staying with him, who finished second for Safeguard by result. Stephen Walker finished third for Spectre 6 Purple, with Matt Elmore in fourth for Spectre 6 Silver. Jason Morris was fifth for iRace Esports, with Jamie Wilson in sixth just for Team Chimera. And then a big gap back to Roger Morton, who's done a great job there, Safeguard by result. Tony Walker's behind him in eighth for Spectre 6 Purple. Ninth was Kylie for our RWC Racing Blue. JB, great top 10 there for BSTV Esports Blue. Matt Flannery in 11th. He'll be disappointed with that. He was something like 7 places down, I think, from his start position for Geodesic Racing White. Chris Needham in 12th for RWC Racing Red. Andrew Littler for Spiro by result finished 13th, and DNF for Stefan.
Yeah,
I think. No, he must have carried on. He must have carried on to 14th. Yeah. So I'm knackered now. I can't possibly commentate for an hour of that. I can't.
The only thing is, as we've always said, these guys don't notice that it's between the difference between a sprint and an hour-long race. They just go at it just the same. So
yeah, it's an hour-long sprint.
You better gird your loins because it's an hour-long sprint coming up.
Oh dear!
That just puts them in the mood.
Just a taster for things to come. Okay, we've now got a 5-minute warm-up. We will then launch into the feature race. I shall talk about something I know nothing about in the meantime. I just checked that there's nobody wanting to chat with us very quickly. Let me have a quick look. Is there anybody in the interview room? No, there isn't. I got caught out by that once. So, in the head-to-head, we have 4 groups that are still being thrashed about. Rounds 11 and 12 will define who goes through to the quarterfinals. So in Group 1, it is Spencer versus Stefan. Now, there's only 8 points in it, and Arnaud Chenonnier is in third, but he's not here tonight. Tony Walker's in fourth, but unlikely to bridge that gap. And then Roger Morton is in fourth. Can he do anything about it? I don't think he can. If I'm being honest, I can't navigate to the right, but never mind. Group 2 is Sam Blease and Stephen Walker, and they have JB, Andy Littler, and Matt Flannery to deal with. And I think they are head and shoulders ahead, but JB is only 10 points behind Stephen, so depending on what happens with Stephen in the feature race could define something. Group 3 is Jamie Wilson, Russell Cowell at the top of that. Now, Jamie Wilson has secured that a long time ago. He's 43 points ahead, I think. Is he? No, he's more than that. He's like 180 points ahead of Russell Cowell. Chris Needham is needing a small miracle, as is Jason Haddington, and Wobbly's not scored. And then in Group 4, Cal Hardy and Matt Elmore are dominating this one, but Shane Powell, who's not here, I don't think he's taking part in the rest of the season, is in third, and Simon Trendle, who has other commitments on a lot of these days, and usually is in Jamie's ear, helping him along, is nowhere near, so he's not going to advance forward. So quarterfinals will be, at the minute, Spencer and Matt in quarter 1, Sam and Russell. Is that right? Sam and Russell? Yeah, Sam and Russell in 2. Russell's not here tonight, though, so Chris Needham could do this. Chris Needham could bump Russell Cowell away. Russell's not here for another 2 races due to other commitments or holidays, one of the 2. And then in Group 3, or quarterfinal 3 rather, Jamie Wilson and Stephen Walker. That'll be a good head-to-head. And then quarterfinal 4, Cal Hardy and Stefan. So there's a lot going on in this league still, and there's a lot to fight for lots of different people. And of course, there is the most coveted prize, which is Driver of the Meeting. So I think Stephen Walker's done a great job for himself in getting the next one. Alan, anybody else stand out for you in that one?
Oh, I think Jason stood out for me. Both of them, actually.
Yeah.
Roger, I felt did an excellent drive, and so did Carl.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, crikey. I think people were unlucky. Stefan was unlucky.
I can't remember whether I need to delay the start of the next session, but I'm going to do it anyway. There we go. I've just extended the gridding for this session, so they can sort themselves out and go for a wee, or probably not a poo-poo, but we'll see. So we have a reverse 8 in this series for the feature race, an hours-long sprint race, as Alan alluded to a minute ago. Tony Walker will lead the field away for Spectre 6 Purple. Roger Morton will go off on the front row next to him for Safeguard by Result. Jamie Wilson will go off third for Team Chimera, with Jason Morris off fourth for iRace Esports. Matt Elmore will go off fifth. Sixth will be Stephen Walker. That will be interesting, him getting to the front there. Carl Hardy will go off seventh. Sam Blease will go off eighth. Ninth will be Jason Haddington. 10th will be JB. Matt Flannery will go off 11th. 12th will be Chris Needham. Andrew Little will go off 13th. And Stefan will go off 14th. Now, Simon Trendle has connected, but he's not in the standing. So he must be spotting for Jamie.
Yes, he'll be spotting for... And Jamie will be listening to him and taking on board everything he's got to say. I think he's still waiting for parts for his headset, isn't he? I think that's
VR set. Yeah, I think he's waiting for a replacement or something.
Yeah, it's a big job, and it's a big mess. So.
I'll be happier when I see him back, because he's such a force in these leagues.
The grid misses him. You can't lose a driver like Simon and not miss him out of the fight. He's a fantastic driver. We do miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's such a fair and clean racer when he's in traffic as well. We need more of them. Yeah, actually, he's in the chat all of a sudden. Fingers crossed he's back next week, he says. So I can only hope that that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we are properly gridding now. The 2 minutes are up. There's a bit of shuffling as people
this is interesting.
move away.
Look at this. Roger and Tony, these are going to be hard to get by. They won't be giving these places up at the front here. And Jason as well,
And Jamie.
And Jamie, that's a 4 up the front. That's a powerful combo there. They're not going to want to give up their places.
No, and it was a similar situation, and Jamie just disappeared. Was it last week? I think it was last week. He just absolutely vanished at the beginning of the feature race. So, as in he won it, strided out, very, very dominant style. So everybody strings out here. There's no need to run 2x2 until you get to probably the last corner, to be fair. There's usually a discipline with it, but So Stephen Walker got a big challenge on. There's quite a lot of cars in front of him, but we've seen how good he is in traffic. We've seen how he can carve his way through a field. Let's hope that there's no carnage in this one. Race direction informs me they are ready to throw a yellow if it all turns very sour, because, as Alan said, these turn into 1 hour sprint races.
Oh, this is tense and exciting. Hello, what's happening there?
I think he's just
hanging on.
I think he's got his foot on the brake. So you can heat the tyres using the brakes. I don't know whether it still works as avidly as it used to. It used to be a bit of a cheat in these cars, especially the Audi, by the way. If you held the handbrake on, it would heat your tyres up, and you would all of a sudden have masses of grip. And I think iRacing did to that. They sorted that out in the model.
Speeding up.
So we're staying close to the pace car again. That must be a feature for this track, because they don't normally glue to it that much, do they?
No, it's unusual, isn't it?
It is.
It's a bit more breathing room. You wouldn't, half the places, you wouldn't have room to pull off to get into the pit lane before they'd be halfway around the track.
Now, good point. pit stops here can be fraught with danger. I've seen lots of people hit the pit lane wall. I've seen others speed into pit lane because it's Sebring. You travel at a massive rate of knots. So
cars unsettled as you're coming under the bridge.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and get in the pit lane.
Especially if you're dodgy on... sorry, Tony Walker needs to die because he's just been flashing his lights at the pace car, and you know what I think about flashing lights. The clinical question right now, the most important question... You can stop that straight away, Tony Walker. The most clinical and important question right now is, did David Ayres get his pudding? He was waiting for apple crumble and custard.
Ooh.
Actually, I want that now. I wish I hadn't questioned it.
If he hadn't had it, I think you'd probably have heard about it.
Well, yes. This is probably why he's gone silent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, pace car in. Stacks him up. That's a good camera angle, Sam. And he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, fantastic work, Sam. What
Tony
a shot.
Walker.
Isn't this great? Look at these guys.
Look at that. Jamie Wilson is looking at the back of Roger's car. He's gone to the wide line. And almost letting... Who is that on the inside of him? Is that Matt Elmore? It is. He has let Matt Elmore through. And Stephen Walker. He's not going to be happy about that, Jamie Wilson. He's going to hang it around the outside and possibly take one, if not both, positions back. What great racing from Jamie Wilson. That's fantastic. Simon will be screaming in his ear, keep in it, keep your foot down. Stephen Walker following him through here on Matt Elmore. And there's a gap in front of Jamie already. Jamie's going to stay bolted to that right-hand line.
It's essential. These first few corners, the tyres could be not up to temperature and anything could happen.
Absolutely. And you can't afford to crash here at this, in any race. You can't afford to crash at this point. Because the whole field will overtake you. So, ooh, that's a bit of a dive there from Carl Hardy.
Carl's in a hurry there, clearly, and
you kind of
Jason.
can't...
Is Jason side by side going through here?
Yeah, you kind of can't blame him for rushing, but there's a time and a place for things like that, and that wasn't it. But he's made the move in the end. The Evers belly is full, apparently, and Scary's been narrowly avoiding getting a disciplinary, according to David Ayres. Sorry, Evers. Keeping Bill's spirit going in the interview booth. In the live booth, rather. Oh, that's heavy-handed from Kylie there, and that's not going to work for him. He's going to get mullered by several cars now. If you come out of Le Mans slow, you just get swamped, and he has been.
Yeah, sure do.
Look at JB.
Audibles, calling him up. It's a sin, isn't it, to come through there like that? If you don't carry your pace, you're toast.
Yeah. And like lukewarm toast at that, because there's no heat in anything. There's all sorts of wriggling around going on at the back there. Jamie is on the outside of Roger here, and he's going to go around the outside of turn one and secure the position. That's brilliant. This was a replay of a bouncing Chris Needham, possibly. No? Oh, the wall!
Oh, yeah.
The wall. Right, we've got a visitor to the wall. Myself and Alan. Oh, and Kylie.
Oh,
that is an RWC wall magnet right there. Both cars. Alan, what is that? Can we have an onboard with Kylie going around that one? Oh, too late for that one. The damage has been done. RWC having a nightmare. Here we go. So he's going to grab a massive bag of bounce somewhere here. Oh no, just understeer. Massive understeer.
Understeer.
Oh! Should have come out of the gas earlier, but he couldn't see, I don't think. So...
he wasn't expecting that.
No, and RWC have just written this one off, I think. I think we're still in replay, Sam.
For the guys, but...
Oh, we're watching it for another reason. Right, okay. Got it. I'll tune in. Yeah, that was Roger Morton getting put back a position. He lost 3 positions in 2 corners. And that just shows the calibre of some of the top drivers in this series. Tony Walker's no slouch, really. He's proven that in the previous race. And with his 8th place finish. So Jamie Wilson underneath. Oh, he's done that, and that's beautiful. Sorry, it wasn't Tony Walker, it was Roger Morton, sorry. Have you got your microphone on your shoe, or am I hearing the chat?
No idea.
Oh, yeah, you're very, very faint, Alan. Just check your microphone for me.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Alan's back, everybody. Yay.
I was probably sitting on it. Oh, crikey, look at this.
I know. Whoa, JB. Both of them went sideways. Jason Morris's connection is just terrible, isn't it?
Oh, you don't want to see that happening when you just go halfway around the apex of a fast corner like that.
I don't care who you are. It makes you lift. Right, so Jamie Wilson defending from Stephen Walker. That's a big defence, isn't it? You're going to have to... Oh, that was a bit of a I'm here nudge. Did you see that?
Yes. Well, teammates. No, not teammates.
Apparently, Scary Mary just told David Evers that she quite liked some disciplinary action.
Walker brothers are doing a fantastic job tonight.
They are. I don't know whether that's put David off his apple crumble and custard. I'm not sure.
I don't think I've seen Tony running with Stephen at the front of a race before like this.
No, and sadly for Tony Walker, I think Carl Hardy is the next man back on the track, and he has been rapid lately. He's been really on it. I don't think it'll be too... Oh, he's already on him, actually.
Well, Tony's...
Look at that.
It's giving it everything. Tony's...
Carl Hardy's line... Yeah, Carl Hardy's line through Le Mans there was so much better. He's in the toe, and he's going to be hauling in that time. Roger Morton.
Everything he's got is good on him. He's giving it everything, but he's in fast company, isn't he?
He is, and I thought Stephen Walker had got that done. He's not going to get this done, actually, because... Or maybe he is, I don't know. Jamie Walker... Jamie Walker? Oh, my God. Jamie Wilson. Yeah, thanks for laughing. The race director is laughing in my ear, folks. You can't hear it, probably, but Sam is laughing at me. Round the outside in spectacular fashion, but not in the right way, is Jamie. Oh, dear.
That's not the fast line.
It's not. I love the fact that he attempted that, but it did not work out at all well. Simon will be probably screaming in his ear, "What are you doing?" Or maybe he's screaming in his ear, "You can do this!" Holding around the outside at turn 1. So he's managed to defend against Tony Walker there, which has saved some blushes at least. Matt Elmore, though, is bearing down on him now, having taken a position away from Tony.
Is going to provide some fearsome competition, probably a bit more than Tony could, to be honest.
Yes.
And this is not an easy one to call, Matt and Jamie, is it? Jamie's been driving out of his skin. Matt, we know, is grease lightning. Wow, hard one to call that. So, good battle.
The other Matt in the field.
Sam's coming through, look, as well.
Yeah.
Goodness me. You see...
So the other Matt in the field is closing in on Roger Morton, slightly behind this pair that we're looking at now, which is Sam Blease, who, to be honest, I thought he would absolutely carve his way through very, very quickly. But I'm forgetting that some of these guys are really good racers and will defend very, very fairly, which is what we're seeing from Tony Walker at the minute. Sam's had to go uber wide because of the defensive line from Tony Walker.
The other thing you need to think about is pit stops. and the strategy element, because these guys, some of these guys are absolutely brilliant with the strategic part of this race. And nearly every race they make it counted somewhere.
No, you're absolutely... Who is that? Is that
Whoa!
Sam Please? Oh my God, Sam Please. Nearly paying for readmission again.
Crikey, that was close.
It really was, actually. And that's very unlike Sam. It'd be good to see an overhead of him approaching that at some point, but I doubt Sam can find it because there won't have been any incident raised on SDK. Whoa!
He's pushing on, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, good lad. He's managed to find it. Oh, no, he's found Matt Flannery.
Oh, hello. Yes. So, yeah.
So Sam got a mega wobble on and got done by 2 cars in 1 corner.
Still going. Could have been a lot worse from there. These are hard at it now. These guys are going at it full throttle here. You wouldn't think they've got what? How long have they got still to go? 50 minutes or more? I don't know how long they've been racing. It's engrossing stuff, and they ain't taking my eyes off the screen. 10 minutes in, and cracking, they've still got 50 minutes of this. How are they going to keep it going? I don't know.
I'm already knackered. I'm already tired. So Sam Blease does one on his teammate, or sister team, I should say. They're not in exactly the same team in geodesic. Oh, that's super wide though. Wow.
That's going to cost. That's going to cost.
Do you think this is the first time we've seen Sam Blease overdriving the car?
Sam's really pushing on, isn't he? I mean,
he is.
I don't remember seeing the kind of errors that we're seeing, which are just the typical overdriving errors, you know.
That one was, wasn't it? Definitely. Yeah. Maybe he's just feeling the pressure this time.
It's too early.
It's too early.
Yeah, it's too early for him to be worrying.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, absolutely. So,
not for a man of his caliber.
Exactly.
So he's probably just enjoying himself and seeing how fast he can go.
Yeah, and Tony Walker needs to die a long and painful death for using his strobing headlights. Not that I've got a strong opinion about it, I just want death. Stephen Walker is your race leader, folks. We haven't seen much of him now because he's cleared Carl Hardy. He's slightly pulling away. He's got 3/4 of a second. I'm talking fast because there's so much going on. Carl Hardy is again in second place. That's his favourite position. 3.2 seconds at the minute from him to Jamie Wilson. And half a second back to Matt Elmore, and half a second back again to Tony Walker. Then you get this rabble sat in here.
Well, Roger's just getting onto the tail of these, isn't he? Is he pulling those next 4 up, do you think?
Oh, look at this though. Matt Flannery, big run.
Up, aren't they?
Yeah. Matt Flannery on Jason Morris, this is.
Wow. No, Jason won't make it easy, that's for sure.
Well, look at where his car's positioned in the perfect defensive line.
Yeah.
That was very, very good. His paint job is from 1972 and should be on the scene of Shaft. But he's driving like a man possessed at the minute.
He's a good motorbike rider. Cast on his motorbike, so that doesn't hurt. He knows
not at all.
About putting where to put the machine on the road to good effect. Look at that, it's a perfect line to hold somebody up.
It really is, yeah. Matt Flannery took a very wide line into Le Mans, and Jason's line is just too good. It's just too good. I mean, even if Matt Flannery pulls alongside going around here, round the outside, as Jamie's about to prove, is not the line to do it. Sam Blease is also doing it, and he's losing the back end of his car again. He's lost it. He's lost his car.
Yes.
And they're now trying to avoid him. He's going to have to get to pit road.
Oh, that was lucky that he got in the pits there. Is he going to get... Was that an unsafe pit entry?
It may be, but he absolutely lost it on the bumps on the outside. There.
He did.
Oh my God, that was so much worse than I thought.
Oh my goodness, Sam!
Now we were saying, Alan, that he was overdriving it, and was he too desperate to get to the front or what? So he's got the bounce here, there, and it's straightened his car up. Sunset has claimed a new victim, and he's lost the left front wheel, which is why he's struggling so much to get across the track. He's done a good job of staying safe with other drivers, though. I have to give him that. He's got a free repair, so he'll get back on track. Has he ended up in a pit window or not? I'm going to rely probably upon our race director to tell me whether he's actually able to get to the end at this point in the race or not.
It's only 14 minutes, isn't it?
It is only 14, nearly 15.
Question.
So, in other words,
repair.
He's got a fast repair. Can he make it to the end on the fuel that he's just taken on board?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person then. Ask Simon on the chat. I don't know.
Simon,
the fuel consumption is around Sebring. I think it's pretty high for this car. So, I think the pit window is probably around 20 minutes and not 15.
Okay, so if Mr. Trendle, sir, if you could tell us what our pit windows are, that'd be great, because me, Alan, and Sam don't have a clue. Not to be nasty about it, but we don't. Cal Hardy has caught Stephen Walker, Alan. I can't believe I just said that.
I'm a bit. Yeah, hold on. Did you say that?
Yeah. As long as he doesn't flash his lights, everything's fine. I mean, what?
There was a gap.
There was a gap. It was like a second nearly. And he's halved it in about a lap and a half, 2 laps.
Perhaps Stephen had a wheel off. He's pushing on as well, look.
Mm.
They're not saying which lengths is track limits, are they?
Not really, no. And, you know, incidents, as Gary Craig always tells me, are a resource to be tapped. You've got an allocation, why not use it?
Wow,
this is close race. Yeah, this is. Now, Stefan is 6 places up from his start position. He is going well. He's doing a great job here. Jason Morris is 3 positions back from his. So I think the impetus is very much with Stefan, and also probably with Matt Flannery behind him.
Yes, you would think Stefan would have the edge of pace in this little duel, but the way Jason's been driving, it's not going to give him an easy time to get past. And Jason might be going back, but, you know, we've been reverse gridded and he was artificially high.
Yes, I would agree with that. And I have just noticed JB Dejou's I rating. And I can honestly say that I've never seen his I rating as high as 2100. That's pretty damn good.
Wow, very impressive.
Isn't it? He never used to be that high. So, I mean, I would like to think it's racecraft derived from sessions with BSTV. I don't know that for a fact, but 2100.
That's twice as much as I've ever had.
Well, he's on the same as me, ish. And I'm rubbish, but I've been higher.
No, 2000 is fair amount of points.
It is, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah.
It's good score in that. You start off with 1350, just for anybody watching that's brand new, and you can lose I rating from finishing lower than the way it calculates it is reasonably easy to work out but hard to describe. So usually if you end up in the bottom half of your split, you will lose points. However, if there's a broad spectrum of I rating in there, it measures you against your I rating compared to your competitors' I ratings. And if someone at a very high rating ends up behind you, you gain more. So there you go. Oh, and Simon's responded to us, Alan. He said the window opens on lap 12. So there is not a chance,
No.
unless he's got a solar-powered car,
No, I
that
didn't
Sam
think so.
Bleeds can make it.
Thought it was a bit early.
Yeah.
But there you see, that's still earlier than I would have said, like 12.
Lap 12.
Oh,
That's
well,
another.
I suppose, yeah,
another-
no, I suppose
yeah.
that's 25
That's
minutes.
yeah. I hate to agree with Sam because it makes me want to vomit, but he was absolutely right.
He's having a good old tussle here.
They really are. This is not for a shabby position, folks. This is for third place. These guys are thrashing it out. Matt Elmore and Jamie, with Tony Walker and Roger Morton looking on to mop up whatever scraps they can get if there is any contact, or someone goes offline. Oh my word! Stefan and Jason are properly scrapping, Alan.
Oh, yes, there's no doubt that they would be.
Sam doesn't know where to point the camera.
Well. This is fantastic racing all around, isn't it? But Tony and Roger in to be living with Stefan.
Yes.
These guys are all driving extremely well.
Oh yeah, this is a proper drag race. This is Ullman straight right from the start for multiple cars. Look at that, Tony Walker. Hello.
Oh, he's on the brakes.
Oh my God, this cannot end well.
I think so. All under control, I think. Really.
You're far more calm than me. Oh no.
That one's a bit area.
Yeah. Understatement of the year from Sir Alan. I think these guys here are loving this.
Oh, I imagine I would be. But I'd just be... They'd see watching them disappear into the distance. I doubt they can keep up with any of these chaps on this track. They're all fast.
I should say thank you to Simon for letting us know when the pit window opens. I don't think I did before, so thank you.
Lovely man.
He is, yeah. Hopefully he will be back next race. I'm going to educate myself, even though I've said it in previous broadcasts. I am not the memory man, so I should look at the schedule and find out where the next race is. The next race is at Sandown. Oh, that'll be good. Yeah. I don't think I'm broadcasting that one. I might just broadcast it anyway, just for the kicks.
It's going to be a good race.
Yeah. And then Nürburgring Combined is after that, which I think is the endurance race. If I'm...
Yeah, and that one you're on the cameras.
I'm on the cameras for Nürburgring.
Yep.
Wow,
I'm going to have a long-range camera. I know, yeah, what? You're going to have a zoom lens for that one. That's going to be crazy. And here's some more footage of forest. A little more footage of forest, folks. There's some trees.
I'll make you a very, very wide blimp camera just so you can look at all the track and see everybody around. That's
from the Mir space station.
Right, oh goodness.
So this is your race for the lead. Carl Hardy is not letting Stephen Walker get away. He's using that toe very, very cleverly. Yeah. Because we've seen Stephen Walker in previous races and seasons just disappear, just naff off into the distance. And Carl Hardy is making him work for it. In the distance there, you can see the gap. That's what 10.3 seconds looks like.
I think this track suits what Carl's trying to do. He's very good around here, and he can use and utilise every bit of the tone he is doing. And
yes,
probably it's enabling him to hang on a little better than he would in other places. Because he's relentless, Stephen. He would be putting just a couple of tenths on with every lap, normally, and creating that little gap and breaking the toe. But he's not managing it on Sebring.
No, he's not. It's quite.
And we know he's going well because he flew through. He threw through the field, didn't he, in the first race? So we know he's in really good form. He
did, and this group of four has split off slightly. So Roger Morton is trying to sort out Tony Walker. Behind them, Matt Flannery is actually closing a little by little, but he is closing it down. But in front, Jamie and Matt Elmore are thrashing it out. I don't know
They're
whether
locked
Jamie's
together.
just sat there at the minute. That's what his car behaviour looks like. He's not stepping out. He's not looking to overtake yet.
This sounds an awful lot like Simon in my ear.
Yes, yeah.
And smart driving, I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, if you're getting advice off a smart cookie,
You take it, don't you?
you do.
You'd be a fool not to.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is these two are really locked together. They are.
Well,
They're still putting time into it. They are. They're battling, but they're not losing any time to the guys behind them.
no, and Roger Morton looks like he is about to throttle Tony Walker.
Well,
Oh no, Jamie
these have
Wilson
been locked
is
together,
having a go.
haven't they? They've been
They
locked
have.
together. I mean, they've clearly got similar pace.
That Honda looks very well balanced. You don't want to be on the outside at this corner. The outside line is the one that's horrendous.
It's available.
You want to be on the inside line. There's less massive bumps, and Jamie Wilson has proved that there. He's got the move done. Gapping is the issue now for Jamie because Matt Elmore has just stuffed it down the inside there. Roger Morton not able to do the same as Jamie. Jamie's managing to keep his position. Roger's struggled there a little. Maybe he'll learn from what he saw in front. Maybe he couldn't see what was in front.
I don't think Tony will be getting away regardless.
No.
Not together, these two. Not together, but like you say, Matt's is gaining because these are locked together and Matt's going to catch them up, isn't he? So he'll be making a threesome, I expect.
Yeah, Jason Morris in the background, strobing in and out again as he chases Stefan.
Yeah, and see, yet again, you know, Stefan hasn't managed to gap Jason. It's happening all over because these people are good enough to get in the toe and make it count.
Yeah, and we've seen Stefan very, very fast this season, like very fast. And in this race in particular, he's up 6 positions from his start because he didn't have the greatest of races in the last one. Ended up very, very last. He's picking his way through the field. But I would expect him to gap some of the field. Possibly up to where he's about now. I would expect him to close in on Matt Flannery because Stefan's a top 5 racer generally, isn't he? Incident free, you know. So we'll see where he finishes. The gap at the front is a bit... Oh, Stefan! As I've just cursed him. My curse is strong today, Alan.
Man, well, that really was powerful one, that was.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mate, reaching out there, that black hand of doom.
Did he get help? I don't think he got help, did he? Jason's a bit back from him at the moment. Yeah, he just lost it on his own. He just got a bit of a wiggle.
A curb, didn't he?
Yeah, a bit of a curb, yeah, absolutely. Good eyes. Here comes Jamie again. He's having to retake this position if he can on Matt Elmore. Matt Elmore's going to cut back and get a big drive into turn 2 and 3.
Oh. I think Jamie's got that one sorted.
No, he has. Well, not quite anyway. There's enough to get a wheel into that gap.
He's got the inside though for the next one.
He has, yeah. Yeah, very true. This is a brilliant battle between these two. Very evenly matched at this track at the moment.
Yeah, it promised to be a good one. And when they came together, I was glad to see them come together.
We are at lap 13, Alan, which means pit visits are on now.
Yes. Now, it'd be interesting to see if anybody takes advantage of the early pit. I don't know if there's an advantage to an early pit.
I don't know either. It would take a more sagely individual than myself in order to comment on that.
Generally, if in doubt, leave it out.
Exactly.
So, I imagine certainly Cole's very good at stretching the fuel out and making it last a long while.
Well, he's been behind Stephen Walker in a tow situation for quite a long time. That won't be lost on Stephen Walker, obviously. So I think that Carl may have saved some fuel, or maybe he's absolutely ragging it just to keep up.
Yeah.
It can be hard to tell, can't it?
I think with the tow, he's getting a little bit of help. You know, he's getting just that little bit of help. That means that he doesn't have to rag it.
But you look at these two.
Smooth, you know, as long as you're being smooth, you know, hard to drop somebody. Look at the way Every's paired off because of the. If you can make the break, and Matt has made that break come across and got on behind Roger now, hasn't he?
He has. But if you look at the car behaviour, oh, here we go. There's our first visitor, Jamie Wilson, folks.
Early.
So he thinks there is a benefit to dropping into the pits early. He will lose whatever tow he had. He was in the lead, obviously, of those two cars, but he will lose that potential assistance.
Did he
even if he chose to get
late?
it.
Did it look like he was doing late to try and lose his friend?
He could be, I guess. We'll have to wait and see if that triggers everybody else to pit, because JB Deshoe has also visited pit lane on this lap. And as I said before, Matt Flannery chipping away at Roger Morton's gap, and he's caught them now.
Yes. That's really good driving, though, by Matt to bridge that gap. You know, it was it is hard to bridge the gaps on here, and he's done very well to do that. And he's obviously got the pace to get past them, probably.
Well, that's the next point, isn't it? So, has he got the racecraft in order to work out how to safely pass Roger Morton? As Roger Morton demonstrates that he is absolutely wanting that position off Tony Walker. That's fourth place in front of him, and he wants it.
Tony's been doing a fantastic drive. I imagine Roger was hoping that Tony was going to put a wheel on the grass and make it easy for him just to pop by and give Tony all the problems, but that's not the way it's working out. And Roger's having to work hard, and you know, Matt's a very real threat up his exhaust pipe at the moment.
He is, yeah. He's left them a little gap at the moment. Roger's going to do a little bit of a cutback of sorts and get in the tow here. I don't think that he's got the pace to bridge that and step out and overtake by sunset, but I could be corrected. He's definitely in the tow.
He's going to try on the brakes for sure.
No, he's not. No, the gap was too much there.
Yeah,
he's going to try for a shallow line, and yes, it was. He chose very well. He chose very well. Tony Walker there overdrove that corner, and has pitted as a result. He'll use his free repair because I think he did brush the wall. So Tony's left it very late to brake. Got on the bumps, overcorrected potentially.
Oh, that could have been so much worse, couldn't it?
Yeah, very, very cosmetic damage at best for Tony Walker.
I'm glad he got away with it. Crikey, that could have been a lot worse. The way he went across the racing line, it's just that light changes of direction, veered across. That was peculiar, but
it was.
No damage. So here we go.
Yeah, a bit of brake bias issue maybe. He crossed up and overturned, as it were. So oversteered into the corner, and then it snapped on him and sent him into a massive understeer. And I could see his wheels overcorrect and off into the wall. He only just went, as it were, but he lost enough momentum to ruin the corner.
Disaster for him in a close fight, of course. He was going hammer and tongs, and he's going to have to work hard to get that place back.
Yeah, David Ayres did actually get food in the end. I don't know whether I've relayed that across.
Yes, well, fortunately, because that's why we can't hear the moans.
Exactly, yeah.
Of a starving man.
About to waste away at any moment.
Well, you know.
So, Stefan sets off after Jason. His damage fully repaired.
Well, Stefan is running fifth. Jason is running fourth at the moment. They'll be happy.
Yeah, Stefan wasn't the damaged car, was he? Who was the damaged car? No, it was Sam, of course. Sam, please.
That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah, and
right, top two are in.
Sam's right down in 12th still, 10 seconds off JB. It's not making a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So here we go. So is that Roger?
That's the
or is that
top
Carl?
two.
That's the top two. Here we go.
In fact, top five. Let's go higher. I raise you a 5. So that's Stephen Walker, Carl Hardy, Roger Morton, and Jason Morris, with Stefan Goebel in behind them as well.
Oh, that's good. That's very convenient of the guys to do it all at the same time. Make it easy for us.
Yeah, it's polite, isn't it? If nothing else. So we'll be able to see the gap in theory. Maybe not. So that was Stephen Walker. He's got a gap on Carl Hardy.
Yes, Carl's going to have to get his bottom into gear here to try and get up to him quick.
Yeah. Jamie is into third. Oh, good call, Jamie. And Matt Elmore as well. So pitting early has done what it needed to for Jamie and Matt. They've got themselves a bit of a gap there over Roger Morton, Stefan Goebel, Jason Morris, and probably Tony Walker, who will come out as a gaggle unless somebody makes a mistake.
Hey, yeah, they did well after that, didn't they?
They did. In fact, everybody's a bit split up at the minute. Stefan Goebel's got company. Yeah. Or rather, the other way around. Jason Morris has Stefan for company. Jason taking that defensive line, which is 2/3 of the outside line, as it were. It's very, very cleverly worked for defensive purposes, but does not do you any good in getting momentum off a corner. He's going to do the same thing here, Alan.
You can do this and make it work for a bit of time, but it's not the kind of track where you can defend resolutely for a long, long time.
Couldn't
It's
agree
just
more.
too many places where somebody can actually get an advantage.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to say every turn is an opportunity, but Sebring has lots and lots of opportunities in lots of corners. It opens itself up in certain places for ascend, if you can control it. Unfortunately, when you're in officials, there's a lot of people that can't control it. Different lines into corners like this one, Le Mans, means that you can get a real good slingshot. If you take a wide line like Stefan did, you can get a lot of momentum. Now, why he's not gluing across to the back of Jason's car, I have no idea. He mustn't want that toe. Toe must be overrated for Stefan. Jason doing a good job of avoiding the toe there.
Yes. Not giving him any gifts, so doing a good job, doing what he's supposed to be doing, but this is not a good place. That is not a good place.
Maybe he's being a bit too defensive because that put him offline.
Yeah, he's lucky to have got away with that.
Has he, though? Because he could get punished for that for a couple of corners as Stefan takes a mega wide line into turn 1. They are alongside each other, 50-50 here. He's going to cut back.
He's going to get away with it. I'm not sure that he should get away with it, really. But
no, I agree with that, actually. Yeah, he should have been punished for that one somehow.
But yeah, good defensive drive, and he pulled himself together, and that's it. Good on him.
He did. So this is 3rd and 4th, is that right? Yeah, 3rd and 4th. This is Jamie Wilson and Matt Elmore. A good 15 seconds. Can you believe that, Alan? 15 seconds up the road is Carl Hardy with a 5-second gap in front of him to Stephen Walker. So big gaps forming in the field.
Yes. Well, we've had a bit of time racing now. And
we have, yeah.
And so that gives a bit of time for Graz to develop. What we can say is that, we know that Stephen just had that small gap coming out of the pits, and that's probably just been enough for him to break the toe and start to work on a bigger gap now. So 4 seconds, I doubt Carl's still in the toe.
Yeah, I mean,
So
You're not going to get a
it's hard
tow
for him to
4
keep up.
seconds back, are you, though?
No, it's hard for him to keep up now, so he'll be on damage limitation.
Well, it's going to be... To be honest, Carl Hardy is another one that's up for driver of the evening. 2 second places.
Yeah, no, he's driving fantastically well.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. He's going to drop off Stephen quicker and quicker, isn't he? Because there's no tow for him to pull into. The pit stop's done it for him. But he's got 15 seconds back to Jamie Wilson. So unless Jamie Wilson's in a DeLorean travelling at 88 miles an hour, I don't see how he's going to overhaul a 15-second gap. So you would think as long as Carl can stick it on the... I was going to say grey stuff, but half of this track is concrete. I think he's safe.
I think he's in a very good position. I don't think he can threaten Stephen. He just... Not many people have got the pace to threaten Stephen from where he is.
Can we have a replay, Sam, of Kylie? He's just put that it was a not very good round 2 is the translation. Here we go. Race director has found Kylie. Oh, Jesus. I've done that before. That curve is horrible.
Oh, Jace, me dear.
Yeah, that's heavy impact as well, because you're travelling at a real rate of knots going through there. Are we going to get a slow-mo of this, are we? No, we are. Oh, we are privileged, Alan.
Oh, hey, look at this. Ooh, ouch.
Actually, on that one, it doesn't look so bad, but no man. This one might look bad. So, full pace into these S's here. Gets a bag full of curb, and his tyre rides that curb, and then bang.
That's a slightly more unusual one, but we've all seen it.
Yes. So, back to live racing. Sorry.
Poor old Jace. It does me nice write-ups on Salon's Simulatorium.
Ah, right.
He writes the races up, yeah.
Stefan looking very racy here in behind Jason.
Well, I'm probably sick of the sight of the back of that car by now.
He'd be getting a bit annoyed, yeah. I know I would. Jason sticking it as far to the right as he can. Too much weaving might attract the attention of race officials, I guess. I'm not going to tell you what race director just said. So, this is a bit tight. So, this is our ongoing third place fight. These two are very, very equally matched, aren't they, at this track?
I thought this would be a great little scrap.
And you were right.
And well, you know, Matt's was going really well in practice. And Jamie's been driving the best he's ever driven, so...
Oh, he is. Well. Yeah, he's been doing brilliantly in all the leagues that he's been in recently. I don't know whether Simon has been conductor to his success, as it were, but it's definitely helping, I think.
Certainly not hurt, has it? I really
no, definitely not.
I do think it's made a difference to the lad. I'm really pleased for him because I do think it's made a difference. And Simon should be pleased as well.
Stefan's got a good run here. Oh, I'm sure he is, yeah. Jason doing a brilliant job of taking that defensive line.
Good majestic. On the brakes. Good on the brakes.
Great on the brakes, yeah.
Not putting yourself under pressure, just the right amount, you know. Just making it so difficult without actually endangering yourself.
Yeah, it's
an art.
Professional line, isn't it? That it's very good. I mean, it's not going to get you to the front, is it? Let's face it. Those lines are not fast. They are defensive, and therefore you are not going to do any kind of fastest lap. You're not going to move forward. You are only protecting the position that you've got.
Which, in his position, is a top 10, a strong top 10 in 6th.
That's door to door. That's more than door to door.
Oh dear.
So we're going to have to see that
Ah.
again. And we're going to have to see it from above.
Oh, look out!
Oh, Roger. Willis, Roger.
Is the car okay? I can't believe he's driven away from that.
Yeah. Let's see this. I think it's going to go as a racing incident. I can't believe it's anything else. Yes. So they've both gone into the corner.
He gave the back end a whack as well.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to do that much damage to that, Alan.
Wow.
Bit of a crumpled back end.
I hope not. If he's got away with it, I'd be delighted. We'll still have a fight on.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any animosity there. They've both gone into the corner. Here we go. They both thought they were clear. Oh, he straightened his steering as well. Yes, he has. So Matt Elmore straightened his steering just enough to put him into a risky position. If we saw it again from Jamie, rather, I don't know whether we can race director. Can we see that from Jamie's on board? So Jamie, fairly steady. Yeah, I think seeing the behaviour of the steering, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with Matt Elmore straightening his steering caused that mid-corner.
Yeah. Well, he straightened the car up slightly, didn't it? So,
enough.
It took him, it was a fraction, that was all, but it was just enough.
That's all you need, though, isn't it?
Well, he probably didn't realise that it was like actually polishing his door handle at the time.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got no idea how. Even though your spotter's saying car left, it could be car left 3 meters away or 3,000 meters away. You just don't know.
You don't.
So I'm not saying that there's any massive fault to be applied there. All I'm saying is that I'm not saying this to you, Alan. Obviously, I'm saying it to the viewers. Straightening your steering mid corner is probably the most lethal thing you can do for yourself.
And he was that corner.
Even before you've hit the bumps, it's a challenging corner, isn't it? Because it goes on forever.
Well, you've got to start getting ready for it from there. I mean, the cones for this corner there.
I know, yeah. It's the longest line of... Oh, Jason.
Around here somewhere. There's an apex, or there's an apex. Or is that an apex?
Yeah. There's about... I don't know how many apexes there are at Sunset Turn. I'm sure you can measure it on several different compasses, but...
Well, I've certainly seen a few different lines around there.
Yeah.
But
similar at Turn 1, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Turn 1's a bit more speculative for me because I can never get the braking right.
I can't disagree with you. It's braking, it's turning, it's speed. It's true of every corner. Ooh, Stefan, where are you going? There's another 1X.
Well, it just shows you. He's being frustrated by the driver, Jason, in front of him. It's making him... well, we've seen a few times where he's been slightly overdriven. Well, it's just a bit untidy, a bit unusually untidy for Stefan. He's normally a very tidy driver. It's how you quick.
Yeah, he puts himself into risky situations, if I'm being honest. Overall, he is a very fast driver. Jason, I think, is defending very, very heavily, but at a sacrifice. So the gap in front of him is opening up constantly.
Yes, he's got that's the opportunity.
He's found himself the Hyundai lawnmower.
Well, that's
he's
what
fighting this.
Been waiting for. Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to win this one.
He's not. Oh dear,
Stefan.
Keep it on the track, mate, because
has to. I've got to see him come around there.
Yeah, and I think that's symptomatic. Oh, here we go. So Stefan could have done that a lot more calmly. I think Jason should have backed out of the position he was fighting for, based on the fact that he'd absolutely gunned the previous turn. Ironically, Jason is going to retain this, but Stefan should end up with a really good run into turn 1. If he was thinking about it, he would stay to the right and then dive to the left at the last minute. but he's going to try and get the optimal line through turn 1. And he's going to run out of room here because Jason's just going to choose the defensive line, which he has done, all the way through.
She's driving with your rear view mirror. It's never very satisfying.
It's not, is it?
No.
It's a horrible way to drive, in my opinion. So, who has the fastest lap in this race? Kel Surprise, Stephen Walker, on a 2:13.5. He is pulling away at a rapid rate from Carl Hardy.
Both in the 13s, though, which is, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 2:13.9. That's a very good lap, isn't it?
Oh,
very good lap.
13s. Brilliant.
Look at Sam Blees. He's miles back now. 2:13.9.
I don't know what's going on with Sam. With doing turning in 13s. What's he doing back there still?
He's doing back there still because he's visited pit road twice now. Once for his damage and once for fuel.
It's 25 seconds. Not used to seeing
Yeah.
him. Well, normally.
Well,
He would have been closing the gap. Is you know what I'm saying? Normally, you would see him, closing the gap, but he seems to be, no better than he was.
In Mr. Bleeze's defence, a pit stop takes you back around about 50 seconds. So his race position is actually pretty damn good. His incident this race was contact with the wall in Sunset, which is a turn that catches everybody out. Doesn't matter how good you are. All you need to be is offline ever so slightly and get a bump that you didn't know was there, or makes your car react in a way that it didn't do the last 35 laps or whatever, and your history.
Yes, right. It's certainly done damage to his race, but he's turning in the laps. I mean, 13s are admittedly quick. That's the same pace as the leader and the guy in second. So.
But the only problem is he's got to break the sound barrier in order to do anything about his race position.
Yeah, well, he's got huge gaps, and every time he gets past somebody, he's fighting the toe problem again.
Yes, exactly that. So he ends up in a battle that he didn't want to be in because he's overtaken somebody. As Stefan closes in again on Jason. Let's see what happens here. Jason's going to take the middle of the track. Stefan could make a ridiculous dive for the inside, but it's just going to compromise his exit. He's doing the right things at the moment.
Yes, we know that it's very hard to drive completely fault-free.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he's doing a heck of a job of it so far, but, it's...
I was going to say that the fast racers, as in the ones that have got pro licenses and all that business on iRacing, they use incident points as a commodity, as a resource to be tapped from, as Gary Craig described to me. I think I mentioned that before. The extremes of the track are there to be driven, and therefore they don't often get clean races. They've often got horrendous safety rating. That's why safety rating exists to a point. It's not necessarily about driving safe, because they do. They're very bullish, they're very dominant in races, but they take the extremes of the track as extremes and they abuse it for gaining time. So, yeah, you're right. It's difficult to have a clean race on any race, because you're striving to get the most you can based on your skill versus the track that you're racing on.
I'm an expert.
You're an expert. You will excuse me for a second. I'm going to go and visit the big boys' room, and I will be back shortly, Alan.
Okay. Well, he's missing this incredible battle between Matt Flannery and Mr. Walker here. There's so many battles going on up and down the track. The way the cars have paired off has been really quite exciting, because nobody's without a fight. Everybody's got their hands full, and I bet you they're very. I just think there's some tired bods out there by now after a half an hour sprint race, and now another 53 minutes of this at this hectic pace all the way. They've not had any time off. And very exciting racing we've had today. My captain is now down 10 seconds, just about. And Jamie is actually closing that gap. That's down to only 20 seconds now. So they spread out, but they've all got their battles. Jamie has now managed to gap Roger, but Roger's in a fantastic 4th position. It's just amazing. This is far and away his best result, I think, at the moment. If he can just keep there, he's got Matt right in his exhaust pipe, which can't be very reassuring for him. It's Jason and Stefan actually coming onto the back of Matt and Roger. Lives in the cap. They could really do with something, change the dynamic for these two.
Are these two still at it? Are they on?
Yeah, they're still at it, and I think, you know, you get tunnel vision once you've followed somebody for so long. You know, your criteria narrows, and your choices narrow, and your options narrow, and it gets less and less likely you're going to get by.
I get target fixation is. Oh, what's that? Matt Flannery in the pits. What's
Oh no, yeah. What's his?
He went off track and ended up in the pits. So here we go.
He was.
Oh, he's going to hit the inside wall of Ullman.
No.
Because I've done this. Oh no, he's not. What?
I know what you mean. Go off and then come back across. Yeah, didn't do it.
No, I've seen loads of people do that, and I've done it loads.
Yeah.
Usually in rear-wheel drive, to be fair. I've not seen front-wheel drive do it very much.
Oh.
What? Oh.
Off it, wasn't
his engine's gone. So, what on earth? Why? I don't understand that. I need an onboard.
Oh. No, that was peculiar.
So he turns into the corner and continue. Oh, the back end goes on him.
The back end. Well, I didn't expect to see that whip out like that. There wasn't anything to indicate he was going to, was there?
No, and he's just destroyed his radiator, which is led to his. Oh, he's reset. He couldn't make it to the pits. Okay.
What? Oh, so he's got a tow.
Yeah, he's had to tow from about 30 yards away, which will give him about a 6-minute tow back to pit road.
That's his race.
Oh, that's him done, yeah. Even Kylie could catch him, and I think he's a number of laps down.
Oh, through for Roger here, look at this. Roger's holding off Matt. I don't know if he can find...
So, so I've just seen David Evers' message on the chat, which says, "Quick, everybody hide, make Pete think we've all left when he gets back." A bit of a giveaway when it's on a public platform, but I salute the attempt. Just to remind everybody that Stephen Walker is your race leader. He leads by 12 seconds over Carl Hardy, who leads Jamie Wilson by 23 seconds.
Yes.
Unbelievable. And Jamie's in a little bit of no man's land of his own with a 6-second gap back to this man, Roger Morton.
Yes.
4th place.
Who's holding off Matt very convincingly. I don't know where to be. I am surprised by that.
Sam's sending me stuff in the chat.
Let's be clicky thing.
Yeah. So, not long to go, Alan. I think we'll be on white flag lap. If not this lap,
close.
Then the next one.
Yeah. Just depends where the leaders are. clock's ticking down. 2:13.1 again for Stephen. He's clacking those.
Yeah, he's smashing
tens
it.
off.
Yeah, smashing it now.
I mean, Cole's driving out of his skin, but he's still giving the best part of 3/4 of a second away.
Yeah, there's
That's
three
with
people in the 2:13s. Oh, actually, Stephen Walker's just dipped under the 2:13s. Carl Hardy and Sam Blees are in the 2:13s. Sadly, Sam is in 10th place because of all his woes from hitting the wall at sunset.
He's really making a mess of the lead, though. You know, he's closed the gap. He's doing his job and he's doing what he needs to do, but he's going to run out of time.
So, can Stefan do anything about Jason in the... Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Jason's running right to the wall here.
Can't help it could get...
Good grief.
It could get a bit messy.
Messy? Messy? Have you got the thesaurus out for understatements of the century? Right round the outside here, maybe for Stefan.
Potential for carnage.
Oh, look at that! Oh, he's been...
No!
Ooh, there was no racing room there, was there? None given. And Jason didn't have to give because he wasn't alongside at that point. So, fair racing from Jason, to be fair.
The gap is made a 3-car length gap, which is unfortunate on the last lap because I think that's probably stymied Stefan's attempt.
Yes.
And I would have expected a firework somewhere on one of these corners on this last lap.
Well, fireworks you do get, Sebring, and we're going to see Stephen Walker find all of them, I think. He's making his way through the fast chicanes. He's on to Ullman Straight now. There is just this straight and sunset, and he will, with 14 seconds to spare.
Yes, and his car immaculate still.
It's got some flies on it. That's the worst you could say about that car right now. It's got some flies and some rubber on the front of it. That's it.
Another superb performance by Stephen.
The only time you're allowed to flash your lights, and Stephen Walker takes the honours at Sebring in the feature race. Awesome performance. Carl Hardy comes around sunset, 14.17 seconds behind him for second place. So great result. A great pair of results there.
I know.
From Carl Hardy. Look at that in the background. Oh my God. We're going to ignore Jamie Wilson, who's going to finish third, providing he doesn't absolutely knack it into the wall. Roger Morton.
Roger, come on.
That was a nice line. That was a nice line. There's no way that Matt Elmore possibly can slingshot this from that far back, can he? No.
No, there's no way. Oh, crikey.
Oh, that is close racing. I would expect Stefan to be a little annoyed about certain car positions and things like that from Jason, but you can't argue with the passion for racing and the skill of defending. To be honest, he did a fantastic job of defending that position.
He did.
Here's possibly the most disappointed man of the race.
Well, things didn't go his way this week, but they do on many, many weeks. So I don't suppose Tom will be that bothered.
Why has he boxed the car? Is it because he can't get any further back? I don't know. Matt Flannery, says that was not ideal. No fast repair.
No fast repair.
No, he'd already used it, I think, in his pit stop. Sometimes the pit stop uses the most innocuously small amount of damage to fast repair. So, still got a couple of people to finish. Chris Needham being one of them, hanging it out at sunset, and Andrew Littler, who finishes 4 seconds behind him.
Well done, Andy.
12th place finish for Andrew Littler. And that's everybody across the line, folks. So, bit of bent steering at the first stop, says Matt Flannery. He must have had some contact. We probably had footage of it, but so much happened in both those races. I do not know whether I'm coming or going. So, Alan,
Oh, crikey.
where do you even start to cover that
Look,
off?
I suppose you've got to say hats off to Stephen after his
Well,
incredible
yeah.
drive in the first race. His recovery drive, and it's just sheer class in the second.
Absolutely. I mean, I said it in the first race about his recovery drive being a thing of warranting driver of the evening. I still think that now. I don't usually go for the winners, similar to Clyde. But then Cal Hardy, 2 second places, Alan.
I
2
know.
second places. You can't overlook that, can you?
Certainly not, because that's in that feature race was a fantastic performance. Now, Cole, wouldn't surprise me. Cole can shine in the short races. He's a great sprint driver. You know, it's where we came from. It's what he started at. But to start getting these results in the feature race is fantastic for him, and I'm thrilled for him. Absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Wilson didn't have such a good run of it in the feature race. He finished 6th, but a podium position in the second race. We've got who finished? Oh yeah, of course, Sam Blees poled it and finished first in the first race. Did not have the luck of the draw in terms of sunset turn, at least in race 2, and finished 10th overall. Matt Flannery gridded very well off the qualifying, but has only managed an 11th and a 13th in both races. Who finished?
Roger's had a great evening.
4th. Sorry, yeah, Roger has had a really good evening. Started 13th, finished his sprint race in 7th, and his feature race he's finished in 4th. So, let us begin the interviews. So we're going to go with a bit of Stephen Walker, hopefully, if I've pressed the right buttons at the right time. Good evening, Stephen.
Hello, guys.
Evening, Stephen.
Hello. That's very good. So you didn't qualify amazingly, I don't think, in terms of your own capability. I'm just going to stop my screen from strobing a minute. There we go. Sorted. That was distracting, it has to be said. You did, however, finish the second race from the same grid position in first place. So you've got yourself 2 podiums, a third and a first. Obviously, the feature race is worth more. Tell us about your feature race first. Your fight from right at the very back after coming together with... Oh, hang on a minute. So long ago now. Matt Flannery.
Yeah.
Thank you, race director. Your rise back to third place was ridiculously good. I said at one point, third place needs binoculars to see where Stephen Walker is right now. And then he needed a microscope by the time he got to the end.
Yeah, it was obviously I didn't qualify very well because I didn't get a chance to set a good lap. The lap that I was on, I thought someone was moving out of the way, and it looked like they just kind of pulled over and stopped. But that's apparently how they were trying to take the corner, and I braked on a shallower line to try and go through and get the run. Cost me as least time as possible, and then they accelerated, and I hit them, and then I couldn't get the car tires to where they were before that incident, and then I didn't have enough time to set it, so I was like, well, I'm just have to make the best of it. I got a really good start, made up a couple of positions, and then I was on the inside of Matt as we went into the corner. I wasn't pushing the car wide or anything. I know it's the first lap and the tires are cold, but I just didn't get enough room. Like, it's a racing incident. Don't get me wrong, I was annoyed at the time, but I've watched it back and it's just a racing incident. If it was the other way around, it could have easily happened the same. So if I'm honest, I was driving a bit angry. So I just was driving as fast as I could. I just tried to make up what I could, and luckily I could get up to third. It wasn't easy, but I mean, I'll take it as far as salvaging a race, because I was, I think, 6 seconds off the back of everyone, still trying to get back on the track.
Massive.
It's an awful
It's a
place
massive
to go
gap,
up.
Stephen. You know, and this is not the place where you want to get a gap, is it? You know, it's
No,
always going to
so
be hard work after this. And you know, and I thought, well, we're set up here for another famous Stephen Walker comeback, and you delivered, mate. You did.
Yeah, I just did the best I could. It was
Yeah, well, it
fun
was
to do
fantastic.
it.
It's so hard to overtake it, where everybody's driving so hard and driving so fast. Nobody's giving any presents, are they? You've just got to make your overtakes. You've got to create the spaces, and you were doing it, and a fine job of it you did as well.
Yeah, a similar thing happened last time we raced here, and I was in the Honda. I got a terrible start, went off, got a slow down, and then managed to come back and nearly won the race at the end. It was like a last lap showdown between me, Sam, and Spencer. So I don't know. I don't think I like this track, but apparently I can drive it well.
I wish I didn't like tracks as well as you didn't, and succeeded the way you did. This was the one. This was the incident, wasn't it, Alan? Where we said that the other driver had opened their steering. Is that right? I think that's right, isn't it?
No, it wasn't Sam. No, Matt was on the inside for that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought so. Thought that was the one. Never mind. So in the second race, of course, you got the victory and took home all the plaudits. A fine result in the end, and a big gap at the end, as far as I remember, as well. It was like 14 seconds or something ridiculous. So yeah, whilst you don't like the track likes you.
Yeah, apparently so. I only did one practice session during the week, and at the end of my race, I just did one race run, and the tires in these cars are incredibly good towards the end of the second stint with low fuel. So it just kept getting faster and faster. As long as you didn't make a mistake, I nearly made a few mistakes because I wanted to make sure I got the fastest lap over Sam to make another point back, because I got actual incident points in this one. I didn't get any in the first one, so I was just trying my best to I got through early on a few people. Jamie was difficult to overtake. He's a great guy. I do apologise for the warming up of the tyres in the first race to him. We had a really good race. I don't know what happened when I went past him. I think I tried to give him too much room. He tried to give me too much room, and it just pushed him really wide. And yeah, and then Carl came through, and I knew that I couldn't shake him in that first part of the race just because of the tow, and the car's pace was quite similar. So I just tried to save a bit of fuel to make sure I could do the full 15 laps and have a bit more. And then he just made a mistake on the lap that we pitted, so I just stopped saving and gunned it on that last lap to get a bit of a gap, and then came out 3 seconds ahead of him. Otherwise, he would have been closer, but if he'd been towards the end of the draft range of just about 2 seconds, I should have been able to break him. But you never know. Draft's really strong around here.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
we saw
he
the
drove
gap
well.
form. We noticed that you got the gap coming out of the pits, and that was good because you did exactly what you said. You had the pace then. Carl had been hanging on to you so incredibly well, using the incredible tow skillfully. But once you got that little gap there, your sheer pace and consistency did for him. But he did really well. But yeah, you did even better, mate. It's fantastic
And
drive.
yeah, absolutely. And without swearing, how is Tottenham doing?
I don't know. I think we're losing 1-0 when I checked. Is it?
So,
Wait, hang on. Yeah, it's 2-0 now. Brilliant.
I
Okay, I'd
was.
rather win. Screw him.
I have to be. I was prompted by Cap on that one, so you can blame him for that. Anybody
He's
you'd
a
like to
United
thank?
supporter. Yeah, not my teammate, Captain Matthew.
No, don't. Yeah.
And yeah, my brother, he had a couple of good races, really good. Yeah, you guys obviously putting it on, and then the rest of the drivers, it was really good, fair, clean racing. It's good. It was just good fun. I'm happy. Last time I won, I was miserable, but I'm actually happy with the way that I drove tonight.
Awesome stuff. In that case, I think it's Nürburgring. Did I say that before? I think that's right. Nürburgring is the next one, VLN. So prop your eyelids open for that one. I don't know. Was that you?
What's not me?
I think that must be Stefan then. There's only one person that would vote for it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Sundown. Sorry, Sundown.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm okay with Sundown. Sundown's completely. It's very different.
Completely different.
Slightly different. Slightly different. Geography and length. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be close.
Sundowns,
Very close.
yeah, Sundown's all right in these cars, isn't it? It's certainly no Nürburgring anyway. But yeah, we'll see you next time out. Congratulations on your win and your third place for tonight. A big points haul, Stephen Walker.
Cheers,
Well
guys.
done,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Awesome. So there's a bag full of people. I don't think we'll get through everybody because not everybody ended up on the podium, and that's all I'm going to do. Oh, wow. Your captain isn't in for an interview.
Oh,
What the hell?
it's gone shy.
He's gone
Perhaps
shy.
he's busy.
Maybe he's allergic to like people giving him compliments.
Adulation.
Adulation. So we're going to go with another race winner in the form of Sam Blees. Sam Blees, welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. That was a very meek little. Hello.
Sorry, I was miles away.
So yeah, okay. We'll draw you back in with a Star Trek like tractor beam. You qualified first. You dominated race 1, and race 2
the stream
happened.
cut off, and now the stream cut off.
And then we stopped recording
Race
anything.
and race 2 is null and void. So,
but no, what a dominating race 1 was. You won by about 3 weeks. It was significant in the end. Carl stayed with you for a portion of time, and then you just broke him and disappeared off into the sunset. You see what I did there? That was a good pun. I like that one.
is that the first time you've used that tonight?
Actually, it is.
Oh,
It's the first time I've used it ever, and I used it on you, so you should feel privileged. And then race 2. So sunset, not your favourite turn anymore?
Sunset was never my favourite turn.
Oh,
All
okay.
evening, it was
Bumpy, innit?
just turn in and get and see what happens.
Yeah,
And
roll the dice.
I got away with it in race 1. I mean, I lost the lead on lap 1 to Carl in race 1, doing basically the same thing. It just snapped and kicked.
Right.
Um,
So we saw you kick right and then end up left and correct as much as you could, but it was no good. And then the front came off your car.
Yeah, it was effectively, it kicked, and I had committed to too deep a braking point and too late a turning point.
Yeah.
But the kick basically meant that even though I managed to gather the car up, I was going so fast and so sideways. It was going to hit the wall. There was nothing I could do to stop it, I don't think.
Yeah, you become an airborne passenger on that turn, don't you? Once it really kicks in. So, I mean, sympathies from everybody who's ever raced at Sebring, because we've all done something at that point on that turn. And it ends up in random situations.
Yeah. So I don't know if I made my setup much worse this time than ever before, or the Audi is much worse for this than the other cars. But from previous years, I've always found a rhythm, and we've done it. I've done it 2 or 3 times with you guys. I've done it a few times in officials, and some of those will have been in the Audi, some of them in the Hyundai. But I've always found a rhythm, and I've always found a line where I actually got comfortable, and I never got that. I did, right. I didn't do loads of practice, but I did a fair bit on Monday night with the guys. I don't know, 30, 40 laps maybe, and I felt okay then, and then today, even in the first race, it was quick, but it wasn't comfortable at all. I never got that just sort of settled feeling where I know I can push a bit, and it was always just living on my wits and trying not to have a crash the whole time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd probably take most of the blame for ruining the setup, to be honest with you.
Right, okay.
But if I could shovel a little bit in the direction of the Audi, I'm going to, because I could not hold on to that car today.
I was questioning the effectiveness of the Audi compared to some of the others because of the way that the Audis were moving backwards slowly in race conditions. But ultimately, you did get a win. That's going to be very good for your points. So the 10th place that never happened because we stopped the broadcast.
Yeah.
Less so. Yeah, that won't help you as much. Where's Spencer?
Turkey.
Oh dear, that's selfish.
Yeah, I think he's back next week though.
Right, okay.
I think it's just a flying visit. So yeah, I think.
Right.
He did briefly, just after my crash was broadcast, he did pop in to take the piss. I mean, offer moral support.
Yeah. Okay. Was it a wobbly one?
nice.
Was it drive faster? Blah blah blah.
No. Well, it was.
Or was it just ha ha ha?
He was. I don't know. I don't think he was as bad as wobbly.
Oh,
He
nobody's
was
as bad as
reasonably
wobbly.
supportive.
You know.
Yeah.
Why are you so slow, Pete? Where's the gas pedal, Pete? You
I
know.
mean, I think that might just be you, mate.
Anyway, anybody you'd like to thank...
moving swiftly on.
Moving very swiftly on, because it scarred me for life. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I would like to say well done and commiserations to my teammate-ish, stablemate. I'm not sure what we signed up this year, but Matt, he had excellent pace. Fourth in qualifying was really, really good, and he was running well, but had some unfortunate incidents. So yeah, well done. Unlucky, but good racing today. Well done to Stephen. Well done to Carl. Had a good showing. And as ever, thank you to you guys, to Sam on the cameras. I always forget to mention you, Sam. I apologise. And to Pete and Alan in this case for what I'm sure was an excellent broadcast that unfortunately is about an hour and a half longer than it needs to be on today's occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, very entertaining, and we had some good conversations. So definitely watch it back. It's a good one, and you got Matt Elmore there who's taking who's extracting the urine based on my getting it wrong on which track we were on. So thank you for an entertaining night's racing, Sam. A win and a 10th place that never happened. And we'll see you next time out at Sandown. That's SANDOWN or something like that.
Oh dear, not Sand. All right, cheers, guys.
Not Nürburgring.
No, not Sandown, Germany. Definitely Sandown in Australia. Yeah. Cheers, Sam.
Cheers, thank you.
Good night, Sam.
Hey dear, what are we like? What am I like? It's just ridiculous. This. So, who should we bring in next? So we've already had that one. We've not had that one yet. So we'll do this one, shall we? So into the booth we now bring. Where did he finish in race 1? 6th, which I was surprised by, and then 3rd in race 2. Jamie Wilson. Good evening.
Bonsoir. Bit of the hokey cokey there, being dragged in and out. Shake it all about.
What happened there? That was a bit weird. Did I do that? Did you do that? I don't know. Anyway, you did ping in and out of the interview room multiple times. So you gridded 8th. Some of your gridding this season has been like lower than I'd normally expect, but you've always made it back, and you did in race 1. You made it back to 6th, which is good, and then a mega 3rd place in the 2nd race. We saw you tussling constantly with Matt Elmore. You needed to get a room. It was almost Wayne Sanderson style. Do you know what I mean?
It was a bit, yeah.
It was getting
Wayne and Tyler in that Daytona race for 2 hours. Yeah.
It was brilliant to watch, but it must have been a bit frustrating maybe for you, or ridiculously exciting.
No, not frustrating at all. It was good fun.
Cool.
We deemed it, because I had Simon crew chief for me as usual. He should be back Touchwood next week, by the way.
He let us know. He was saying stuff on the chat. Yeah.
SciAx, yeah. So, it was... I've completely forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but you can explain why Simon has named himself after an oven cleaner or whatever Ajax is.
He can have plenty of opportunity to explain that when he's inevitably in the booth having...
Is it very deep? Is it one of those names which has got loads of deep and meaningful...
I'll say yes, so that you can be built up.
Tear him to pieces next time he's in here.
But we were chatting about it, and we called it basically Operation Wasp, that race, because it's his idea, because the objective in that was not really to go out and win the thing, because that wasn't realistic, but it was to annoy as many Spectre 6 cars as possible. So,
well, you did that, definitely. Yeah. With spadefuls, that was class. Oh, dear. We saw some great moves, some great defending, and I think probably race 1, was the more frustrating for you, I'm guessing.
There's a very, very fine cliff edge in the way that I had the car set up. The other snag is I didn't have any opportunity to do any practice. Like most recently, I've been jumping into all the Cole sessions, and we've been doing a load of group stuff and all that. I didn't have any opportunity for that, so I was literally coming in with maybe 5 laps of practice that I did like last Thursday or something. So I didn't have the car where I wanted it really. It just sort of had to do. But yeah, it was a knife edge going into there and into Sunset, which I think was common across most people. But you can kind of get away with having a slide at the rear there on the way in. You can kind of hold that to a point, and then there's a certain sort of tipping point where it just goes a bit beyond. You know, like how a bus falls over when it's at a certain angle, a bit like that, where it's like very, very defined little fulcrum where it's like, nope, that's too far. And I just got the wrong end of that there and just had a big Tokyo drift moment, which is fine.
Yeah, I did actually use that as an analogy in the race. I don't know whether you heard that.
No, I'm not daft enough to listen to you lot when I'm
Of
racing.
course not. Why would you do that? You know, we
I'm
only
not
invest hours of our lives into this. Oh dear, that's funny. But no, great racing tonight. And your championship's not going to be harmed by the third place, definitely. Where's that likely to put you? Just a minute.
Yeah,
Sundown.
Let's
talk about Sundown now that I've got the right track for the next race. You've done races around there before in this series, I think.
In GT4, yeah.
And in GT4. Did you get on well with that one?
Very, very well. Not quite Oschersleben levels or not,
right,
whatever, but that was a perfect storm last week. But
it was very good. You mopped up on the driver of the meeting. It has to be said.
Yeah, thank you. It was very kind of all of you. But that's not unusual. As I said, I think in the interview, that's not like the normal state of affairs. So back to business as usual here. And I'd said to the Spectre 6 boys, obviously Russ wasn't here today, but I said to them beforehand, I'm probably like about around your pace, and that was proven today because me and Matt were perfectly matched, I think, pace wise. Yeah. And that's, I think, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. And I was a bit fortunate that Spencer wasn't around and that kind of thing. So Sandown would be good. Stephen, I think, will be very strong there because I know that's one of his very favourite tracks. So
okay.
He's going to be doing an awful lot of laps there, I would expect, just for the fun of it more than anything else. It's one of those sort of tracks. And I'm of the same persuasion, really. I absolutely adore the track. And I'm happy to see that it's quite a small track, a bit like Winton, but unlike Winton, it's been sort of well received generally in the community.
Winton's not got that many fans, has it?
No, it hasn't, which is a shame. It's like Snetterton's the same. It's just like a bit of a sort of track for most people. But no, Sandown is popular. So some big curbs there. That'll be differentiation between the cars. How well we can take the curbs at chicane, if we can take them at all. That sort of thing. So.
I always think that Winton is like when you go for a fried breakfast and you're thinking, oh, bacon, I like bacon, and sausages, oh, I like sausages. Winton's like baked beans, isn't it? You're like, oh, baked beans, really? All right, then I'll do it. Yeah.
Better with brown sauce. Does that apply in that analogy?
Brown sauce, brown sauce, that's pretty cool.
I had some brown sauce moments going around there in the V8, to be honest with you.
Code brown sauce, that's a new one, even for BSTV. Great racing tonight, particularly with Matt Elmore, who you couldn't be separated from for most of it. Anybody you'd like to shout out to? Obviously Simon, because he's been...
Simon. I mean, Simon was saying that... at least you're third. That means you can go in the interview room and call me a twat. So Simon is a twat. There you go. I fulfilled my promise. Orders fulfilled.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, now he's doing the fuel and all that kind of stuff for me, so I don't have to think about it, which is always welcome. And as always, Simon strategy mode, you cough about 50 feet after the line, which is as per design. So perfect. So, and as I say, he'll be back next week. But thanks to everyone. Thanks to Matt for just being, as always, to be honest, a brilliant person to be racing against. You can't race like that if you don't trust people. So, we trust each other enough to be racing like that. That's true of pretty much everyone really now. So, long may that continue. First and foremost at Sandown next week. I'm hoping I can get a bit more practice in for that one.
Yeah, well said. And we will look forward to seeing you there. What did you get? You got a third place in the feature race tonight, Jamie Wilson.
Thanks, guys.
Well done, Jamie. Fantastic.
Awesome.
fantastic. He's having a really, these last few weeks, Jamie's really been great, hasn't he? He's had a really golden, he's had a little golden time. It's fantastic for him.
He has, and we didn't get to interview Carl Hardy, so we're going to go and interview Roger Morton, who has joined us in the booth. I don't know whether he's actually there. Do we have a Roger?
Hello, you right?
Roger. Yeah, that's never going to get boring for me, by the way. Roger. Qualified in 13th, which is just one step off the bottom. But hauled yourself all the way up to 7th. And then in the second race, started on the front row and finished 4th, which is a good haul, really. You got to get very, very happy about 4th place. I mean, that's great.
I'm absolutely buzzing, to be fair. I come in with 0 practice, straight into qualifying. That's obviously why my pace was off. I felt comfortable in the car, and just the pace just naturally come within the races, and I've had some absolutely fantastic battles with quite a few top drivers as well, which is nice as well. So it's just nice to be in the mix for a change, yeah.
Yeah, and you were good enough to join us in the booth, which is more than can be said for your leader, who decided he wasn't going to speak to us at all.
He's having mic issues. He sounds like a robot, like a Dalek all the time. So,
well, that's no different to normal. He can probably do stairs better than a Dalek, maybe at the best. Alan, what's your take on Roger's racing for the season?
Oh man, no, I was thrilled with Roger's driving tonight. It's I think this must be far and away his best night, and I knew he'd be happy because crikey, he's been right in the thick and really racing with people we would think of in front of him on the grid, really, at this stage.
Wow.
He's clawing his way up the front. He's clawing his way up the grid, slowly but surely.
That at most of the tracks, to be fair, you know the hours that I've spent around this track, and
exactly. I know.
Track knowledge.
It's that kind of a track. It's your kind of a track. We know that you put the laps in round here, and it is the kind of track that's going to favour you But you've got to hold on. You've got to have the talent, and you've got to have the pace to actually keep up. And if you can keep within the toe of these people, you're driving pretty bloody well. And I think you've done fantastic tonight. I'm so pleased for you.
Yeah, I'll second that. A 4th place is never something to look over. You've been in some really tight arguments on track with some very, very handy races and handled yourself very well tonight. What can you take from this race?
Well, hopefully, if I can take some pace and into the next few races to the end of the season, hopefully. I might have to start practicing now, I think. I've always liked driving the Honda. It's sort of taken me a while to get back into racing it. I don't really drive it enough, really, and I just really enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed driving tonight, racing against some top guys, and it's just nice to. I tell you what, right at the end when Matt ended up having a bit of contact with Jamie and put him behind me, and he just kept me under pressure throughout the last few laps, and it was just absolutely mega. My lap times were coming down and down and down and down. It was really good. I was really happy with today.
Yeah, well, in the words of Stephen Walker, you do grow fonder of a Honda. So I can't believe I said that without vomiting just a little bit. But any shout outs before we let you go and celebrate your 4th place tonight in the feature race?
Well, you guys, obviously, as always, doing a top notch. Alan, you're smashing it as always. My team, they're fantastic. They always take the piss out of me for everything I do, but love them to bits. But yeah, it's and everybody who I've raced against tonight, we've had some mega races and with no contacts or very little. So yeah, mega happy. Thank you.
Well said. And I'd watch the broadcast back because you feature in it Rather a lot. You were in some really good heated battles throughout, to be honest, in both races. Really worth watching. So thanks for a great night's racing as we watch Matt Flannery sliding sideways behind you on the replay there. Roger Morton.
Thank you.
Yay!
So it brings us to driver of the meeting, Alan.
Oh, this is tough.
You've been
This
thinking
is
about
tough,
this for
Steve.
2 hours, haven't you? You really have. You've now honed it down to a single person. Who is that single person?
Oh man, this is so hard. So, okay, I think with push comes to shove, although I think, Jamie is a contender with his great drive. So Sam with his fantastic performance. There's so many people who've driven really well tonight. I could mention Jason, who did a defense drive from hell.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
And Roger, that's awesome performance by Roger. But I can't overlook my captain and his 2 second places, especially in that feature race, because that was awesome performance by him, and I'm thrilled for him.
awesome
That's
stuff.
it.
So there you go, Cal Hardy with vote number 1. Sam, viewing from the cameras. Hopefully, you've not fallen asleep while we've been talking to people. Where are you planting your flag tonight?
Well, there's a lot of guy that could win it, but I will pick Stephen Walker for the recovery drive race 1. And
Oh yeah,
I've not seen him in race 2, to be honest. It's been so far. It's just, it was a good race.
yeah. Well said. So Stephen Walker with a vote there from Sam. I'm really quite caught out by this. So Roger Morton, that's probably his best finish in one of our leagues in 4th place. He started second and managed to minimise the damage in inverted commas from the people who were behind him, they are very fast drivers, let's face it. But I'm going to have to go and side with Sam. I don't like voting for race winners, but that recovery drive from Stephen Walker, whether it was angry driving or not, that was something to behold. So I'm going to vote for Stephen Walker. Sorry, Roger. So that brings us to the end of tonight's broadcast. That was a fantastic race. Sebring, that's probably one of the better races, or best races, I should say, that I've commentated on at Sebring. It was just full of drama. I don't know how Sam managed to cope with it all, because at some points he needed more than one camera, which it has been possible in the past, but we've not got it at the minute. Maybe we need to bring it back. Let's see. Me and Alan couldn't talk fast enough about the things that we were seeing on the screen. What a great racing night. But it has to end at some point, and it needs to end now. So I will say goodnight. I know it's a tearful situation. I will say goodnight. I will stay safe. That's easy for me to say. To everybody who's tuned in and to all the drivers that have joined us this evening. And I will hand you over to Alan. Have a great evening and good night, everybody. Over to Alan.
Good night, folks. I'm overdue for a very large scotch, but tonight's race was just 2 great races, and we've had a fantastic evening together. Thank you very much.
And good night, everybody. See you next week. From the Nordschleife, as Pete said. Not Winton and not Sundown and not whatever.